What is going on, everybody? Voidlego here, back for a brand new episode of Disco Elysium. Lesson on. We finally came face to face with the union boss, Everard, and he's as corrupt as we could have guessed. He knows a lot of information. He pretty much knows every single thing that goes down in Meritrol. Right now, he even knows about our messed up memory by this point as well, which is quite surprising to me. He also has our gun, pretty much by this point. But of course, in order to obtain it, we're going to have to do something for him. And for right now, we're trying to get information on, of course, the body within the courtyard. And so he tells us to take this key and unlock a door, just a certain basement door, in order to scare somebody, a weasel within the union, possibly, that ratted them out on some corrupt business or whatever. As we made our way over there, we spoke to two older gentlemen playing with their buddies, and unfortunately, we took one of the balls and shot put it into the lake because we wanted to play, I guess. But we talked to them, and we learned a bit more history about Revachol. In the past, there was this communist revolution within Revachol, but the rest of the world didn't like that. A faction known as the Coalition came in, stormed the beaches, and pretty much took over without the Communist Party surrendering at all. And it's very interesting. We saw two different points of view. The blue gentleman in a Royal Guard uniform, who was probably part of the Royal Army during Revachol's heyday back in the past. And also his friend, who, has kind of accepted, he really has no connections to the original regime or the original king or whatever. It was very interesting topic with them, learning a bit more history about this place and what state it is in now. For example, this section we're in, the reason why it's in ruins is so it's a statement from the Coalition that just never was fixed. The only thing that was fixed was the statue, and pretty much everything else is still falling into disrepair and decay and all that. We also spoke to a little girl who was, out parading or, telling people to go to her mother's bookshop, and it turned out she actually met us beforehand while we were having party eyes, aka high or drunk. Either or, maybe both, probably both. Another interesting query, but the most important thing we got from last episode, besides meeting with the union boss, was we saw a smoker overlooking the courtyard, and we asked him a couple of questions, but he pretty much dismissed all of them. But because of a check, I was able to persuade him to, we'll be able to talk to him later. And he gave us he didn't give us a key, but pointed us to the direction of the key to get into his apartment. So I cannot wait to investigate that. But for right now, I think the biggest choice I have that I've been thinking about since last episode is, do I go into the basement? And you know what? I gotta do it. I'm way too curious. What if there's something really important in here? Very shady. Is that a shotgun? Just cans. Let's see here.
A row of mugs sits on the shelf. Each one depicts a human figure. A dark-skinned woman grinning amidst mysterious symbols. A broad-shouldered man shoveling potatoes, and others.
Move on. Smell disinfectant in the room. Smells like chemicals. Whoever lives here admires fair-haired fantasy heroes with big muscles. Hey, dress shirt. +1 logic is pretty good. Could always have more logic. Preston Spot was grooming white shirt, the kind that serious men wear at serious and celebrity offices. Not yet piss-soaked or cum-stained. Oh, fantastic. Well, was a weird that. Hey, I'm looking pretty good, I have to say. Like my outfit. Book titled The Hidden World of Walking Sticks lies open. You can almost feel the warmth of the red sun on the flag.
This is the flag of Revachol, the suzerainty.
What's with the sun?
This isn't just one sun, but there are little suns dancing around the big sun. This is the sevenfold sun miracle.
Well, what's the sevenfold sun miracle?
It's an optical atmospheric anomaly the first settlers saw. Happens in cold weather. 6 small suns around the big one. This complex halo phenomena is how old Revachol got its flag.
Tenant, the old flag of the suzerain.
Mm-hmm.
Looks around the
The
apartment.
tenant is an old-fashioned guy.
Probably longs for the good old days, eh?
By old-fashioned, he means very right-wing.
Conservative, yeah. Don't bow to the flag.
The flag doesn't seem to mind. It's just a colorful fabric with a sun sewn onto it. Like all feudal flags, it looks like a children's drawing.
Alright, now what is this over here, I wonder? Magnesium. Take some of those. So, suitcase full of clothes. Guess they're staying over? Maybe he wants to get out of Dodge. Well, no, you know what? No. I'll tap on the mugs. Screw it. There's nothing else.
A row of mugs sits a little ring. Though cheerful, the images on the ceramic make you vaguely uncomfortable. The images betray a lack of interest in human beings. They are merely unflattering caricatures.
What do I mean uncomfortable?
The owner of these mugs doesn't like people of other ethnicities very much.
Left wing wants the good old days. Okay. Typical asshole.
This person is unhappy.
Yeah, he obviously from the general room we can already discern that he longs for the good old days before the foreigners came in and stuff like that.
The lieutenant picks up one of the mugs, then puts it back down with a look of disdain.
I'm beginning to feel better about breaking into this man's apartment.
Yeah, it's a little better, just a little bit. But there's nothing else here, Kim. Let's get out of here. Now, that smoker guy, though. That's who I want to investigate. Let's go check out his apartment, shall we? Actually, what's in my bag? Just a tank top. Anything else? I'm still very curious. Where exactly do I get my I keep picking up these magnesiums and stuff. Like, where exactly do I find it? Because it's not in my inventory. Oh well. Let's just go into the apartment. I don't really need it at this point. Well, actually, I would like to boost some morale and health. Eviction notices and missing pets are plastered on top of each other. The box is filled with cleaning chemicals. Smells of laundry detergent. Ooh. Flip up glasses, the auditor. +1 logic once more. These flip-up sunglasses were fashionable in the old, but have since lost their popularity. Their thin gold alloy wire frames are a reminder of drug-addled bohemian artists. These days, the glasses are only favored by organized crime accountants who desire to look cool. But I don't see the books. Filthy boho, probably a necromaniac. How goes my drama? Because I do want to wear one of these glasses. The thing is, my drama's pretty good. I guess I could lose 1 point in a 40. I can get that. Then I could have 6. You know what? Screw it. I'll put on the flip-up glasses. Yeah, I'm looking fucking good. Fuck yeah, I like my outfit. Okay. Old chewed whack, boots, sneakers, and old slippers. Apartment 12. A wild one boy, no snore comes from within. Ooh, bathroom. Yep. Shower curtains are covered in some sort of slime. Ugh. Moss crawls on the bathroom tiles. Actual moss. Jeez. Good old Melanie as well. Ooh, more magnesium. Oh, alcohol. Yeah, I'm good. I'll just take the magnesium. Less morale, but more physique. Let's just keep moving and try to find that guy's apartment. Oh, I like the music in this. Reminds me of like this setting kind of reminds me of 7. Someone has drawn a 5-point star on the wall. Some boots. More money.
This door has been closed with a padlock. A chalk-drawn number on the board says number 11.
Examine the padlock.
It's a solid lump of metal, but the shackle is deeply corroded. A solid pair of chain cutters would make short work of it.
Give it a knock.
No reply.
We could use some chain cutters here to cut the shackle.
Why would we want to break into some random citizen's apartment?
I don't know. Just seems like something we could do.
The lieutenant looks at you for a long moment, then blinks once. But he knows it wouldn't make much of a difference.
I suppose if one were committed to it, there's a pair of chain cutters in the kinema.
I'll leave it for now. No point to investigate every single room. Or maybe there is a point. Ooh, $7, nice.
You hear someone walking around inside, rearranging the furniture. The number on the panel says 10.
Gotta get information.
The walking stops abruptly, but no one comes to the door. You can feel tension on the other side.
Knock again.
A poor communard, from the looks of it. The room is barely bigger than a closet.
It's time the steps come closer. Who is this? Demands a female voice, very intense. So the police open up.
Do I have to open the door?
You hear the clanking of heels again as the other side walks right up to the door. Her tone is now getting defensive edge.
Did you have a warrant? I'm not obligated to open the door if you don't have a warrant.
Yeah.
Let's go. We don't have a reason to get inside that apartment.
It's generally easier to do things if you have literally any reason.
Just wanted to ask information, damn. Another photo. Boogie Street. This crumpled up postcard depicts an open-air market in Boogie Street 5 years ago. A vendor smiles as dead roosters whine a stall is hung by their feet from canopy. Wet blood flows onto the muddy street. Blurry shadows of people pass. Door number 9 is locked. Now here we go. Here's someone we can talk to. Good old-fashioned janitor. Apartment 8. Their mailbox is overflowing.
Give me a moment.
An elderly woman is leaning on her broom, her knuckles white as bone. She seems to be having difficulty breathing.
The cold never does any good for my bronchitis.
She sneezes into a dirty handkerchief. This won't take long. I only have a few questions.
Go ahead then. What do you want to know, policeman?
She's the cleaning lady. She knows the floor plan and the residence.
I'm looking for a young male in his mid-20s, dark hair, skinny build, a smoker in the balcony.
Yes. I know who you mean. The scrawny boy who's always smoking like the devil, right?
She looks at the other end of the hallway. Bingo.
Somewhere in the building, a child starts crying. You hear a radio tuned to a talk show and someone taking a shower.
What's he in trouble for?
No trouble. Just want to talk to him. You know where he lives?
Talk?
Queenie Weddy starts laughing, but turns into a violent coughing spasm. She squeezes her broom, trying to catch her breath.
What was so funny about that?
Yeah, good question.
He lives upstairs in room 28. Go to the balcony. It's one of those doors there.
She points
He's
east.
usually home in the evening.
Upstairs in room 28.
Thank you. We should go check out his apartment on the balcony. See if he's home.
Well, let's have a question about that chained link apartment.
Ask
Okay.
away, policeman.
Who lives behind the padlocked door?
Oh, that one is a scientist. A future scholar.
So only the old lady's face is beaming.
I think he studies astrology at the community college. Education's good. I always tell them to study.
Astrology.
Something to do with all those stars around his door. He asked me to leave his drawings up on the wall.
Are you sure you don't mean astronomy?
That's what I said. Astrology.
Well, astrology is
The lieutenant shakes his head as though to say, let it go.
fair enough.
Come on, people. Try to keep up any standards here. It's not about stars. It's... forget it.
Who lives in apartment 10?
No one lives there. It's been empty for months.
But I talked to someone through the door.
Impossible.
Squinty
I
Witty
would
says,
know if
shaking her
someone
head.
had moved in there.
She pauses, eyeing the hallway.
Maybe it's those countercultural people again. Breaking into a house like it's a public space. You're a policeman. Be good and take a look, will you?
Sure, I'll go see what I can find.
Great. Young people. They're worse than rats. You know, always littering the hallways with trinkets and empty beer cans.
Alright, it's one of the residents on vacation. Their mailbox is overflowing.
People come and go. I don't keep an eye on everyone.
They probably just moved or died. Hopefully somewhere else.
That's all,
She
thanks.
mumbles some kind of a response, then hacks something into her handkerchief.
I guess we could get her name. Who are you?
I'm no one. Just an old woman who cleans these hallways.
Do you live here?
If you could call it living.
She spits on the floor.
I have a little
Before
room
rubbing it off the floor.
upstairs right next to the coal room. It's barely bigger than a closet. But I don't complain, no.
She just
I have
shuts
my
out her
bed
chin. Hi,
and my
Charmaine.
aching bones to keep me company. And that's all I need from this world.
She hasn't spoken to anyone for a while. Even her sentences feel rusty.
Poor old woman. Thanks him off. Well, we'll investigate the apartment 10 waiter. For now, we should find squad for the witch. A note reads, foreclosed by Marnay's Realty Associates. Abandoned ass apartment. Sea below looks cold and winter gray. Someone's torn down the wall. Going into shambles, eh? Let's go upstairs. I want to talk to this smoker. Alright. Jeez. God, the way out of those places. Just disheveled. Best way to say it.
The streets will flow red once more. A great torrent rushing down Rue de Esperance. You wait and see.
The girl stares at the sailboat by the pier.
The streets will not flow red with anything. Who are you?
I'm Cindy the fucking Skull. What else do you want to know? Date of birth, blood type, the last time I was tested for Hep C.
Yeah, when were you last tested? We just want to know your name, little lady. No need to get defensive.
And here I was trying to be polite. Just can't win with you pigs.
Despite the sass, she puts the brush aside.
That smell coming from her paint bucket. It's not paint. It's heavy fuel oil.
Fuel oil? Jeez. What are you doing to the wall?
Can't you tell? I'm painting a beautiful mural, an aereo graffitio visible from low orbit. I haven't really started it yet. I'm waiting for the right words.
She studies the walls, suddenly pensive. Why are you so committed to defacing the building?
This place is severely lacking in havoc. Not even the occasional trash can fire to break up the tedium.
Trying to be aggressive towards the world, huh, City?
I thought I'd mix it up, you know, summon the forces of crime and social chaos with a wall-sized invitation.
So you don't know what to write.
Have you ever tried your hand at graffitio? When faced with a blank wall, most people write unimaginative stuff, like pigs go home and Mona was here. We rarely see pigs round here, though. Just union cads. And my name's not Mona, so...
She wants it to be something true. and total.
I have an opinion on this. Want to hear it?
Yeah?
I mean, it's not really the most important thing, but I kind of do like public art as well. Yeah, you know what, fuck it. I love public art. Don't mind us. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thanks. I'm sure the inspiration will come to me now that I have an official RCM stamp of approval.
Which will probably dissuade her from actually doing it.
She means the opposite.
Exactly. Thanks,
You've
right over.
lessened her desire to deface the building.
Yeah, well, not what I was getting at, but keep looking off to the side. What are you looking at?
The lieutenant furrows his brow at another one of your eccentricisms.
She nods distastefully towards the woman performing maintenance on the boat docked near the pier, next to the pier.
Hatred, disgust. It's difficult to tell which of the two is more present in her girlish features. The woman on the boat does not notice her staring.
That is on her.
Ah,
Someone's got to keep an eye on her.
who is she?
Probably the Wild Pines rep. We should talk to her.
Wild Pines.
She's a professional negotiator, though. I have the feeling she will be very cooperative while telling us nothing.
Ah,
You should take the lead. Ask her unexpected questions, you know? Do your thing. Don't be afraid to get a bit wacky. Throwing her off is our best bet.
hey, whatever you say, Kim. I know how to get wacky.
Good idea, piggies. Run along now. Fuck her shit up good. Impound that boat while you're at it. I'd like to watch her swim back to us on.
You know anything about the recent murder?
I ain't no snitch, pigstein.
She
Go
winkles her
forth and
nose.
forage in someone else's shit. No shortage of squealers in these parts.
Yeah.
Actually, there is a shortage of people who talk to us in a normal, calm, informative manner.
You have a great point there, Kim.
We weren't put on this earth to make your life pleasant, fucko.
Is that heavy fuel oil?
Red-dyed heavy fuel oil, intended for exclusive use in government vehicles, to be precise.
He says, studying the contents of Cindy's bucket.
What did you think I was using? Aquarels? Sucked it out of a cop's fuel tank myself. Back in Jamrock.
She really did it. She's proud of it too.
Some clever cultural commentary. Fumes are bad for you, okay?
Something to think about next time you're driving around in your pretty little piggy carriage.
Yeah. Catch your waiter, Cindy.
Watch your back, ungulate. You've got eyes on you.
Yeah, I know. Trust me. Alright. Now here's the coal room. Where that old woman lives. Someone's been sweeping here recently. Cindy. 100 tiny feet scurrying beneath the grate. The rats of the city. Enough coal to last for several winters. Smells of chemicals. Ooh. More pants. Pour la forme Weber jeans. Ah. Locked, eh? Well, I do not want to wear short shirts because I do not want more electrochemistry. It's the one thing I don't want. Locate the door 28 and investigate apartment 10. Yep. Alright, let's get the fuck out of here. I want to get to the smoker. It's one thing. Door's locked. Can't get in. Well. She said balcony. No. Just gotta fucking find it, I guess. Where the fuck is it? There's nothing up here. Oh wait, there's a box. Right over here. Check that out. Take those. Above, tarps flap in the wind. Forgotten hammers and nails lost. Yeah, it doesn't look like we can climb down from this at all. Alright. Well, nothing else we can do up here. let's head on down here then. Well then. Lots of things to see. Capeside apartments. Signs. Wu Descent Gassin, 1 mile north. Inside the frame of a motorcycle in repair and the tools used to disassemble it. Oh hey, trash can. Damn locked. Well, I guess we can go talk to this woman down here, since we're right around here. More magnesium. The belly of this boat shines like it was recently painted. Docking reserved for the residents of Rue de Saint-Gassin 338. Well, the railway is much bigger than the soup. It's worth more than you'll ever earn in all your life.
A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling as you approach. Her green raincoat glistens with droplets. A silk scarf is tied around her throat.
Obviously a much richer person than we've seen before. Hell, even more than Everart.
Good afternoon, officers. I'm Joyce.
She extends her hand in greeting.
Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the RCM.
She steps closer and holds out her hand over the railing. Might as well start off runway. Shake her hand.
I'm glad to see you here.
Her grip is tight and cold.
Like steel, there is strength there. If she wanted, she could sink her nails deep into your skin.
I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will.
So you're the representative that's sent down from the union to deal with the strike. Gotcha.
That is good to hear, madame.
He opens his
My
notebook.
colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual. But I can assure you of his ultimate competency.
There's a trace of irony in his voice. Mischief, even. This is a tactic.
Throw her off. Okay, I'll take your weed, Kim.
How interesting.
She turns to you unfazed.
I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation, and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines group.
It's hard to get a read on her precise disposition, but she appears helpful.
Tell me about Wild Pines. What do you do?
What we do. I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole. It's a giant undertaking.
There was a touch of discomfort there. She wants to merely represent.
So what do they do?
The Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, that sort of thing.
She points to
See
small
those
dots on the
airships
horizon.
there, blinking? Those are the shipping side of things.
Hmm.
And that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas exploration, offshore platforms.
So how much money does Wild Pines have?
I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that last year, the company booked more than 20 billion real in revenue.
20 billion. Now, is she lying? Or is she telling the truth?
A billion?
What exactly is a billion? The money I owe is so much less than that. What exactly... You know what? Let's throw her off. What exactly is a billion?
It's a number, officer. A big one.
What's it made of?
It's made of 1,000 millions. A million is made of 1,000 thousands.
Wow.
20 billion is a large number, but the conglomerate employs 72,000 people. They all need to be paid. Then there are capital improvements, interest payments.
A wave hits his swoop. She gasps, then remains straight for balance.
A conglomerate the size of the Wild Pines is like a shark. If it stops moving, it will die. Then what becomes of those 72,000 families? It's a tremendous responsibility.
Where does Wild Pines get all these billions?
They started is an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade between the Samaran and Insulindian Easterlers 250 years ago, when pine ships explored the South Seminese and charted Lomantang on behalf of the suzerain.
Uh-huh. So, cargo company.
Centuries of care, deliberation, and madness have gone into this endeavor. Vessels pass through the great unrest to re-emerge with apricots in tow. The logic of the system is totalizing. It's taken everything from its employees to build it.
Great unrest, huh? What does such a large, huge system want with a place like this? Look around.
You mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners?
Gives
You're
you a
responsible
smile.
for moving 8% of the world's cargo.
8% of the world's cargo, huh? You don't keep it moving. The workers do. The company is nothing without them.
We built this district.
She says calmly.
We. There it is. She owns up to it.
Yeah?
All the best parts of it. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, with its bastions. The plazas Meteor and Mosaic. Even some of the old street lamps have been put back thanks to the investments from the WP.
She points behind you where the seawall rises.
Before Martinez was swallowed by the industrial harbour, even before it was part of Revachol, long before Terminal B was erected here, the Pines built it as a resort for its Revacholian employees.
Really?
A company getaway, for a weekend or a summer holiday. Then came the revolution. But that's another matter.
She takes a sip.
I'm here to make sure the Pines can fulfill their responsibilities to the place they built.
So, the Wild Pines kind of, in their view, own this district. While the Union with our boy Avatar is kind of going rogue, I guess you could say.
With your
Actually,
help,
no. Never mind.
hopefully, says her warm tone.
No, actually, he's still part of the company. The whole thing is the workers just want to get paid. No. The workers want shares within the company. That's right. That's why this representative was sent down. Excuse me. What can you tell me about the strike?
Everything. Right up to,
She
but not
smiles.
including, trade secrets.
Wait, what if I want to hear about trade secrets?
First, you'd have to repeal the Emergencies Act of Trade and Aliments that gives me the right to silence. It's quite the octopus.
An octopus. I will sway it.
Good luck is only kept in place by the vested interests of half the civilized world, including your own.
What the ma'am means is that the Emergencies Act and the RCM both get their authority from the coalition government.
Ah.
You'd be shooting yourself in the foot, in other words.
Gotcha. Leave it alone.
But I am derailing us. You wanted to know about the strike.
What is your role in this precisely?
I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer.
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place.
Really?
Now they won't even let me into the harbour. There's a 2-meter 20 racist behemoth blocking the gates.
You mean Jean-Luc, my race mentor. He's a great teacher, a man of virtue.
Oh, so you've met him.
She takes a sip of
Has he
tea.
beguiled you with his inane theories?
My colleague has his peculiarities. Let's not go into this particular one just yet.
Of course. To each their own.
How were the talks going before the lynching?
Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago.
She thinks.
Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM.
Yeah, get up close and personal.
But the strike began in December.
Looked at his notes. That's right. That truck driver told us it was... She's stuck in there for like 2 months, so...
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
Gaumont, huh?
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike.
Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive.
No, of course. Yeah, since... Okay. So interesting that Avatar has gone on 3 strikes by this point. So what exactly is he after, then?
Ludicrous, even. It's meant.
Yeah, I guess. What happened to this Gaumont?
Mr. Clare told him to... how did he put it?
She pauses to compose herself.
Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see.
Okay, then.
Yes. Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the union.
Well, maybe the reason why he told him to fuck off was he wanted a new negotiator he could ply his claws into a little bit more. What are their demands?
There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say again? Oh yes. Every worker, a member of the board.
Most of the workers probably don't know what that means.
I mean, seems like they have no idea about business.
In its defense, another said, demand democracy. Pretty tame stuff compared to every worker, a member of the board.
What's that even? Yeah, what does demand democracy? What does that mean?
It's quite simple, you see. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about what? About anything really, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its Martinez terminal. Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group.
Huh. That is very interesting. So they like, that's very, huh. Okay. The king is dead. Long live the workers. I mean, the workers can't be kings. The king is king.
That may well be. It's not up to me to decide who is king, but as negotiations go, it's not a swell start.
What are you going to do?
I'm not sure. Naturally, I assume that was just their opening position, a hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again. And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags, a disastrous situation if there ever was one.
Excuse me.
Lieutenant
From
looks up
whom
from
did
his
you
desk.
hear about this lynching?
Good point.
I first heard it from the boyer at the gates.
The
The
reply
one
comes
whose
quick.
very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, "Call me Manana."
Call me Menana, huh?
This checks out.
Yeah.
No, wait. The chief negotiator heard it
Yeah.
from the man at the gates. Surely the Wild Pines Group has more effective channels of information. After all, 2,200 people are on strike. This is a big deal for them.
Yeah, that is a great, point of like, why the fuck would the chief negotiator need to hear it from Menana, a guy at the gate? The scabs at the gate. Did you put them there?
The scabs?
She raises her brow.
You mean the huddled masses of Jamrock, come to plead for work where the union refuses to? If they were organized by Wild Pines or its affiliates, then it would be a company secret. I could not share it with you. Not right now, at least.
Right now.
It's implied she's open to discussing this matter with you at a later occasion.
What do you think of Everart?
Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first.
Really?
Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood.
He's not that bad. Well, from the little we've seen of him. He's corrupt, yes. But he doesn't seem that bad as corrupt people, officials go.
He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar.
I remember hearing something about this Edgar.
Have you seen him?
No.
Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does, and when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over.
Ah. Kind of a me on Xi'an situation, I wonder.
It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues.
What about the Union itself outside the Bloody Square?
The Debardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act, but they did it. I can respect that. Organized labor at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The brothers Clare came and transformed it into a... how do you say?
She hesitates, looking for the right expression.
A mob. The
Attempt to
Debardeurs
you
are
can
a crime
see.
syndicate. Sad as it may be, we are forced to cooperate with them.
I mean, yeah.
Refreshingly honest, officer.
She nods.
The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Everard and his brother.
She turns to you.
And your opinion, detective, if I may ask? I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Debardeurs Union is...
I mean, from everything we've seen, Everard, head of the king. He's the king. He does provide his workers with demands and such, but of course it's to his own benefit, obviously. I feel like the best, it's not effective advocate at all. I guess I wouldn't say giant leech. Basically a socialist mob, yeah.
Thank you for being candid.
She nods.
Sadly, Wild Pines have cooperated with what amounts to a crime syndicate for 2 decades. However much you feed the wolf always hungers.
One more thing. You said something happened in the elections?
I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the Union. She disappeared.
Disappeared, huh?
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore, or coming to work. Ever. End of story.
Eerie.
Downright haunting, if you ask me. The Wild Pines suspected foul play, but what could they do? It was a union matter.
Keep it on the inside.
The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with him.
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
That's all I need. Let's change the subject.
Of course. How else can I help?
By the way, I've talked to Everard Clare.
You have?
Want to skip away?
And how did you like Mr. Clare?
He's not the champion I've chosen. He's a beautiful man. I can do business with him. For a socialist, he's reasonable.
Of course. He must have his practical uses. How else could he have kept his position all these years? Or wait, actually, he could have kept it with corruption. Fantastic, worm-like corruption that reaches into the bowels of the earth.
She looks at the ground and nods in agreement with herself.
The RCM does not pick sides in this, madame. I hope it doesn't come off any other way.
Of course. And I don't expect you to share anything he told you with me. I'm not a corrupt verm myself.
She turns to you.
However, if you felt like discussing something, how could I stop you? Are we not human? Are we not curious to hear another person's take? It's only natural. We would only be
She smiles.
gossiping.
Yeah, you want information about Elvard for me, don't you, Joyce?
Intellectually speaking, it would be quite interesting to hear what she has to say about these things.
It would.
Yes, your disgusting necktie agrees completely. Let's gossip.
I helped him turn up the heat on the borscht.
Did you now?
She's a treat if a
What
little
sort
confused.
of borscht is he making?
Cook makes it to keep the strikers drunk. Helps them strike.
The strike brew. That's a classic. And by turn up the heat, I presume you mean put more alcohol in it?
No, you misunderstand. I turned the knob like this. Turned the heat down.
Beyond curious. I will choose to interpret that as you turning the alcohol in the strike brew down. For the sake of our professional relationship.
I mean, it's what I did.
And because I don't like the idea of them any more drunk than they already are. What else?
Do I tell her that I don't have my gun? That's a big choice. I feel like that's actually a big... He could fuck me over. But he could also know I'm talking to her. Eyes everywhere, right? Ooh, I love... My mind's racing. What to do. No. No. I want to talk about something else for now, if you don't mind.
Of course, Detective.
She simmers down.
Should something come up later, down the road, don't be afraid to drop by for a chat. Until then, is there anything I can help you with?
What can you tell me about this wenching?
Quite a few things, I'm afraid.
She falls silent for a moment, contemplating something.
The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets.
Ah.
For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Gotcha.
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves.
Lieutenant
I
Hanser,
am
be
Lieutenant
supported.
Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. And this is my colleague from Precinct 41, Detective Dubois.
Dubois.
I'm
points
afraid
you.
Harry doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice.
Yep.
Oh, and what happened to yours, Detective?
She returns the lieutenant's badge and turns to you.
Awkwardness washes over the conversation. The woman doesn't like this turn of events.
Remember when my partner told you I'd recently suffered from an unusual medical episode? My lost badges were related to it.
I see.
She looks increasingly worried.
So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode?
Couldn't have eaten, for all I know. I don't remember anything. This world, city, yes. It's possible. After a night of heavy drinking, I lost all memory of my life and the world.
Oh dear.
She sighs with compassion, sadness even.
I suppose this does explain some of the more curious turns in our conversation.
She must have been suspecting something for a while now.
Yeah, probably with me talking about, wild pines and journal stuff.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is an officer of the RCM.
Of course, I sympathize, but I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that badge.
Hang on. She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement.
Ooh. How do I negotiate my way out of this? 72, go for it. Sympathy.
Feelings
Fuck.
will guide the way.
But madam, I need to know about this winching. It's very important to me. It's a case I'm solving.
I assure you, it is no small matter for me either. We all share the responsibility for disarming this situation. I hope you have a badge for me as soon as possible.
You have so much else. I have only this. Spread out your hands. This is the entirety of my existence.
She's silent. The wind flaps the sail above her.
This boat, for example, in a home somewhere, I only have this case.
Officer,
The carbon fiber hull creaks. This case, I don't remember anything except this winching. There is only this coast and this winching.
you know,
She puts her foot
I
on the
don't
guard
mean to
wire.
sound cold, but if you want something, you have to give something back. More than just guilt.
Man, I can't believe I failed at 72%. Yeah, I got away with a 40 last time. Comes and goes, huh?
You're doing it. Despite your own best efforts, you're still getting it. Somehow.
I'll be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors. They're going to want to see something tangible.
Oh! I see. That's where my health's been going. Gotcha. Okay. Okay, that... Thank you. Alright, let me just heal up then. Repair my morale. I'll just get it to 5 as well. Like what?
The Union is conducting drug trade out of the harbor. It's an open secret in Martinez. Surely it must not come as a complete surprise to the RCM either. Perhaps it's time to look into it.
Drug trade, huh?
Or you can find your badge, which honestly seems like a lost cause.
Fucking Everard probably has it.
Detective, a
You
word
never
in
take
private
places
before we
else.
continue.
Excuse us for a moment, madam.
It's clear you like the hard stuff, Brota.
Discard thought. Not
No,
now.
no. When the blood and flesh call, there is no discarding them. Speak true. Do you like the hard stuff?
What is the hard stuff?
Fascism, Brota.
Okay. Okay, Stomach, I've made up my mind about fascism. Proceed to the
You're
judgment.
going to keep your views, right? Keep your views, Brota.
Absolutely not. I'm not going to be played by an upset stomach.
There's a slow, painful growl somewhere in your intestines, knocking on your alcohol-engorged liver.
I am not going to fascism. Fuck you.
It is one of betrayal and disappointment.
Anyway, Kim.
This is not going quite as I hoped it would, Detective.
Lieutenant's voice is harsh. How did you hope it would go?
Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance, and not volunteer us to be her henchman.
Oh, so we're henchmen now?
This woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along, or she's simply an adept improviser. Either way, we've played straight into her hands.
Well,
He doesn't let it show, but there is a limit to how much the consequences of your unprofessional behavior can cost the investigation. Maybe this is all her plan. She might have heard about you.
the company must have more ears on the ground. She could have known about my condition.
I wouldn't go that far. Her reaction did come off as sincere to me. I think she's just quick to adapt. She's a professional, after all.
What do you propose? That we don't investigate the drug trafficking?
No. If there is reasonable suspicion, we must investigate. Otherwise, she could claim we're siding with the Union, or that we're on their take. We'd never hear the end of it.
Hmm.
What I propose is, we ask her, then we investigate, briefly. But do not
Jessica
share the
says.
outcome of this investigation with her. We tell her it's done, and demand for her information on the lynching.
Okay. You know what? Okay. Fair enough.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Okay, tell me about this. Seems smart. I need someone to give me the lowdown on this. Fuck it. Tell me about this drug trafficking.
It's quite straightforward. Someone is using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients from the Samaran Isola into Revachol with the Union's blessing. Wild Pines has suspected it for years.
Ingredients for what, ma'am?
Meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL, and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quicker to say what you can't make from the stuff.
And you want us to investigate.
Yes, but you won't get anything out of Evrat and the Dock Workers Union. Still,
She raises a bony finger.
every chain has its weak link.
The handoff. The motor lorries at the roundabout.
Ah. The worries.
Precisely. Someone needs to move the ingredients from the harbour into the city. Once they reach Jamrock, they're distributed to a network of local manufacturers well beyond our grasp. But in transit, they're vulnerable. Perhaps you've noticed that a number of lorries are tangled in a traffic jam at the roundabout just now. Interview the drivers who are still hanging about. One of them might be waiting for a crucial shipment.
She gives you a knowing look.
Her irises are light green, like the river Esperance in bright daylight, upstream where it's clearer.
I'll be explicit. If you find this driver, I will share company secrets with you.
Uncovering Union secrets could also give you an upper hand when dealing with them.
Why didn't you come to the RCM earlier?
We did. On more than one occasion. Apparently, there's some sort of inter-precinct disagreement about whose jurisdiction this area falls under.
Of course, jurisdiction.
We know the company has launched its own probe into the Union's alleged involvement. We also know it's come up empty. It's not just the RCM. No one's been able to find any hard evidence.
Well,
Smiles and
here's your
points her
chance,
smart
officers.
What proof do you have that the Union is involved?
How do you think they're financing this strike? There are thousands of unpaid dock workers going strong for the 4th month straight.
There was a shakedown of local businesses preceding the strike. Many were squeezed to bankruptcy to fund it.
Damn.
With all due respect to these desert cacti, the contents of a few cash registers cannot provide for 2,000 men. The local businesses can scarcely provide for themselves.
So you think the strike is being funded with source ingredients for drugs?
Precisely. Smuggled out of that very gate at night, most likely, then loaded onto lorries and driven to Jamrock. You simply need to find one driver who will open up to you.
It sounds like she tried looking into it herself, though she's clearly not the type
Yeah.
your typical lorry man would confide in.
It's no coincidence the worries are stranded there like that, is it?
No. We asked East Motor Track to raise the drawbridge. The road company is a partner of one of our subsidiaries. However,
She pauses, looking to the sea.
this is a limited time opportunity. Once the complaint has been processed by the trade committee, they'll have no choice but to lower the drawbridge, and the operation will continue.
She looks north.
Thousands of liters of raw ingredients will pour onto the streets of Revachol. Not the east across the river, but the west. The vulnerable, the weary.
Well, at least this solves one mystery.
What is that, Lieutenant?
Why I had to call East Motor Track and beg them to open the drawbridge for me.
Ah.
I'd wondered since I first drove in, on my motor carriage.
I am sorry for the inconvenience, Lieutenant Kisaragi, but we need them trapped here. This is a unique opportunity. I'm sure you understand.
Interesting. So that's why we're stuck here, is because of the pines, huh? Okay, I've made up my mind about the smuggling investigation.
Yes?
We will take this case, probe the driver, see what it yields.
Excellent.
She takes a
According
long
to
sip
my
of tea.
reports, there are at least 3 lorry drivers lingering near the roundabout. Hopefully one of them will know something. It may come to nothing, or it may just blow the case wide open. I can keep the drawbridge up for a few more days at least. You should have the time you need. In the meantime, let me know if there's any other way I may be of assistance.
Well, assistance. Well, she takes another long sip from her seemingly bottomless thermal cup. You seem rich. Can I have some money?
Is what you want to say, but it isn't that easy, is it?
What? Why not?
Look at that lady. Take a gander. Squint your eyes, bub.
What luxurious hair.
A well-kempt, yet tastefully short bob of dark hair. Despite the first hints of grey, she's elected to keep it au natural, shaped into a permanent wave, late 40s style, positively statuesque, while dull orange pearls hang from her earlobes, red from the cold. Her light green eyes scan you, full of knowledge and worry, wealth and all its possibilities. These are the kind eyes of the rich man that seem to say everything is possible.
Indeed.
Within reason.
Yeah, so.
Now look at you. You misery-clad simian. Barely able to tie your own laces. Your armpits are lakes. A scythe of booze precedes you. Your hair sticks to your forehead, and your underwear feels uncomfortable. You're poor. Poor as balls. You can't ask this person for money. You're too...
I'm a goddamn working man. I'm not ashamed to shake this weech for some dough.
You think your little communism protects you from this feeling? No. The more demeaning it is to grovel at her feet.
As I was saying, if there's any way I may be of assistance, please don't hesitate to ask.
Anything, huh? What my volition do it? Herd of billions. Indirect taxation disapproves. Go for it. Even.
I am sorry. It just doesn't come out of your mouth. What does is...
Money.
Excuse me? I didn't hear you.
Voice is kind, a little hoarse from
Did
the
you
wind.
say money?
No, I didn't. Let's talk about something else.
Of course.
Damn it. Alright. Seems smart. I need someone to give me the lowdown on this reality we're in.
This reality.
Pulls her hood closer around her neck. It's related to that medical episode. I have trouble remembering even the most basic terms of reality.
Ah, yes. The episode. Sounds like an acute case of encephalopathy, now that I think of it.
She puts down her thermal cup and looks at you.
Don't be phased, madame. He functions perfectly well. He only needs a lowdown on all of reality.
Yeah.
We may be here a while then. Ask
She's
away,
taking wrong
officer.
sector.
I'll help however I can.
Alright, we're in. I know these all look good, but begin with the first, okay?
Where are we?
We're in Martinez, baby.
And what is Martinez?
Martinez is a district of Revachol.
She looks around her green
A
raincoat
very
flapping
small
in the wind.
district tucked away near the industrial harbour, north of the 881 and Jamrock. You would be excused for not knowing about it. Unimportant, they say. Forgotten, even. Shelled to smithereens during the Revolution.
She shrugs.
It has its charms, just not this time of year.
You mentioned the sea. What sea is this?
It's not really a sea, it's the Bay of Revachol. And the bay feeds into the ocean.
Are we near the ocean?
Yes. We're on an island in an ocean. The world's largest body of water. The Insulindic.
The Insulindic, huh?
Vast, lukewarm and unknowable, flowing in and out of sight.
What's the name of this island?
Caillou.
She looks over
Imagine
the
a
waters.
pebble. A smoothed over pebble amidst a great blue sea. Misshapen, cracked. The cracks are the river Esperance. We're in the delta of this river, on the 6th branch. The Martinez distributary.
It is clear this pebble is of enormous value to her. And to humanity at large.
Indeed. Tell me about another, perhaps even more fundamental aspect of reality. Or, you know what? What's Revachol?
Revachol? Revachol is what you call a city.
Kind of city is Revachol.
The great kind.
As if it's self-explanatory. Beyond patriotism. A fact.
What makes Revachol great?
History detective. They built this city to resolve history. Our part in it, at least. Our centuries.
Okay, who built this city?
The nations of the Occident, or migrant workers from Seminine and Ile Marat. depending on your creed.
Accident? When was Weathershaw built?
In the DeLorean century. 380 years ago.
And why will it resolve history?
They say it's where the terrible questions of our time will be answered. The tensions are highest, the fault lines deepest.
Will be answered, huh?
By that I mean conflicts. Ideological conflicts. The stuff of men.
Why here?
We are standing on a fertile, self-sufficient island able to sustain up to 200 million people.
Damn.
In the middle of the Insulindic Ocean, the world's connective tissue.
She smiles.
It's where the money is.
So we're pretty much at the center of the world.
Oh, we're quite a way off. About...
She points across the water where the skyscrapers rise.
A sparkle of lights on the horizon, like evening stars above the curvature of the planet.
22 kilometers from the center of the world. That soldering iron is the bank of the world building. The bottom floors are Insiacom. Coalition government, Insulindian Mission Command.
Look to the sea.
Silence. She lowers her hand.
Bank of the world building.
The water, the light. It's as though you're seeing it for the first time. There is no recognition, only the immensity of the sea and the cold radiating from it.
I don't know any of this.
We are where we are. I have no truer answer to give, unfortunately.
She watches you closely as you scan the horizon.
This is one thought you need to complete. Where are you?
Was there something else you wanted to know? I remember something about a lowdown.
This has been informative. Thank you, ma'am. I'm sure my memory-impaired partner has many more questions to ask.
He turns
about
to
even
you.
more fundamental aspects of reality. Might I suggest not asking them all right now? Ma'am, Monsieur will be here later too, and tomorrow. Isn't that true, ma'am?
Absolutely. My commitment here is long-term.
You're right, Lieutenant. I'll continue later.
It's better not to eat all your candy at once.
Indeed. I'm always at your service.
That's all for now.
Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know. Anything else?
Thank you.
Of
That's all
course,
for now.
Detective. Take care.
Okay, well then. Well, let's take a look at this new thought I gained. Derealization, huh? Jamasvur. Riverchal Special Administrative Region, West Kawu, the Insulan Ocean, Coalition Government, Insulan Mission Command. Name after name, and none of them is familiar. They seem real, but something is wrong. You feel like a kid looking at stickers on the fridge. Truevent, the Apricot Company, World Games 34. You can almost see your hand reaching out for them. Scratch at the corner, see if they peel loose. This feels like the most important of all thoughts, the one you truly must complete. Well, I would love to do it. Maybe next skill point, I'll get another one. But anyway, how about we go find the damn smoker, finally. Check the balcony, I checked pretty much everything. I picked up that key, didn't I? Pretty sure I picked up the key. Should have picked up the key, right? Let's go check back outside, just in case I missed it. There's no stairs. Oh. There's one door I missed. Here's that outside. Aha! You're just in traffic. Night is falling on the city. Moon glow of white pollution rises from the east. The box is full of cigarette butts and electrical wires. Current shift just a little. Someone's watching from within. Alright, door 28. Just a door. Nothing for you here right now. Need to talk to that smoker. Someone's growing rosemary, thyme, and cactus. Door to apartment 29. Complete silence. Whoever lives here isn't home. Door to apartment 30. Voices from within, singing along to some buoyant dance track. And finally, 28.
This door is made of metal and appears to be reinforced. Someone here really values their security. Number 28. This is where the cleaning lady said the smoker on the balcony lives.
Let's see if anyone's home. Knock on the door.
Knock.
No one answers.
Looks like the young man we are looking for isn't home. I think our best chance to catch him is in the evening.
He looks around, taking in the cold spring air.
We should return tomorrow after we have finished with our day's work. How about 9 p.m.? Sound good?
Sounds good. Tomorrow, 9 p.m.
Tomorrow, 9 p.m., right here. Apartment number 28.
He writes it down into his notebook.
Damn. Turns out it's quite tricky finding someone in a big apartment building. Don't worry. You'll get him. Remember, tomorrow, he's probably gone for today.
Probably. Good thing it's already the end of the day for right now, so that's good. How about we go to the Worry, or the roundabout, talk to the driver we know there, and I don't know, figure out a bit of information, maybe go back to Dufront as well. Fortunately, there isn't any other easier way to get back there, so we're just going to have to walk all the way over there. But, you know what, as we're walking back there, I want to discuss something very interesting. So, recently, there have been 3 studios that have propped up that have all claimed to making the successor to Disco Elysium from the original developers of this game. I don't know much about the controversy, but if I remember correctly, the developers wanted it to make Disco Elysium 2, but due to creative differences or some such, a lot of them broke off from the main studio of this game. And so it's actually very interesting that not like 1, not 2, but 3 different studios made up of those same employees are planning to make spiritual successors to this game. It's very fascinating. Can't wait to look into that more after I finish this game.
Hello again, my man. What's on your mind?
You seem like a man who knows about drugs.
Ah, man. Me and narcotics go way back.
He folds his hands behind his head and leans
I
back.
had some good times surfing the psychic waves of my own consciousness, you know? But those
Pauses
days
when
are
a man
behind me.
displayed.
There are other addictions in my life now. Why the inquiry, my man?
Yeah. Should I just... You know what? It doesn't matter the investigation outcome. Let me be straight with you. I'm trying to figure out who's smuggling drugs out of Terminal B.
We have a credible lead, sir. Someone on this roundabout is waiting for a bulk shipment from the harbor to load it on their lorry and drive it to Jamrock.
Not me, man. No way. I don't need any trouble. Shit's bad enough anyway. This jam's got folks up in arms, and I'm afraid it's headed toward a conflagration.
Who do you think could be conducting drug trade on?
Look, man, I try to stay away from the criminal underbelly of Revachol. I'm a guest here. You really need to find another man to probe with those questions.
That's all for now, then. Alright. Try to find another person, perhaps. There is that old woman over here that we did see.
The woman still has her eyes fixed on the photograph in her hands. In the background, the radio plays.
Grandma?
Nothing. Her smile just keeps widening. Her hair is gray like lead.
Snap your fingers in front of her face.
If you want her attention, you may need to be more forceful.
Snap your fingers twice.
Where am I? Who are you?
Like a magician recalling a subject from hypnosis, you've jolted her back to reality.
The smile on her face has disappeared, replaced by the weary aspect of a cornered beast.
I was actually hoping you could... Are you alright, ma'am? You were out.
Never mind.
She sighs.
I remember now. I'm still stuck in that traffic jam. in the 50s.
She adds with contempt. When else would you be then?
Back in Methka, during the time of the revolution. The side walls and cafes are filled with the young people. I was on my way to see a new Voidlego picture starring Gabriel Buendero. Until you came along, that is.
The look she gives you is accusatory. Who's Gabriel Buendero?
This is Gabriel Buendero.
Shows you the photograph in the lavish amber frame. Take a look.
A strikingly handsome man looks straight at you, his head crowned with a wide brim hat. His hair is dark as an oil slick, and his jaw the most perfectly chiseled thing you've ever seen. This man's got a hold over her, even 50 years later. You can feel it.
Yeah.
He was the biggest star of his day. Girls used to faint in the aisles of cinema whenever he came on the screen. And schoolboys used to memorize all his lines.
She leans back, savoring the world she's conjured up.
In all likelihood, it's a world that's only ever existed in her mind.
So I take it you were in Mesk when you were young?
Someone was.
She nods as though her meaning was perfectly clear. Sorry to interrupt your dreaming, ma'am.
I wasn't dreaming. I was there, Loman. It was early spring, and the man behind the black sun had just come out. The posters were 20 meters tall. Everything was golden.
Her eyes narrow and she appears to take your measure.
While you, people, were tearing each other apart over your petty little revolution, in Methk, it was a golden age.
Someone. Are these not your memories?
They are someone's memories, boy.
She gets gruff somewhat.
What difference does it make if it's me or not? They're beautiful. That is all that matters. Beautiful and true. And they will win. They're coming for this, you know?
She looks
All of
around.
this.
They're coming.
She seems to derive some bitter pleasure from this strange thought, as if the past will one day wipe the present away, like a tidal wave approaching.
Consume us completely. Right. I have some other questions for you. Police questions.
Why not, Harife? It's not like I have anything better to do in this hellhole.
She settles back against the railing of her mortar quarry. Behind her, mountains of memorabilia, photos, and knickknacks line the dashboard.
There's something off about this woman. Tell her to show you the soles of her boots. Maybe she was at the hanging somehow.
What are you hauling?
Diamonds.
Diamonds, really?
Of course not.
She says, grinning.
But wouldn't it be marvelous if I was?
Okay, but what are you really hauling?
Whatever stupid things they put in the lorry, I imagine.
So you don't know what you're hauling in your own worry.
I quit concerning myself with that a long time ago.
She smiles a
Besides,
favorite smile.
I don't drive the lorry for the cargo, if you know what I mean.
If the cargo's contraband.
Then it's contraband, Loman. What? Do you want to take an old woman in? Be my guest. Lock me away like Bad Hand Hermenegildo.
Bad Hand. Hermenegildos' bad hand. Strangled 300 people.
Damn.
What can I say? Some people just really like strangling people.
But 300? I feel like someone would stop him by that point. At least by like 10. Anyway. Still don't really understand this whole Voidlego thing.
Of course not. To truly understand the Voidlego, you need to listen to on the Western Plain.
I've already got too many records to listen to as is. Change the topic.
The woman sways her wrinkled shell back and forth, a strange grin across her face.
Show me the soles of your boots.
Now what do you want with an old woman's boots, Sheriff?
It's for important police business, ma'am.
I'm starting to think you
She
should
whizzes
let
her
me get
boots
back to
away,
Gabriel
tempted.
Buenguerro. You are no Gabriel.
She's wearing sturdy worker's boots made of black leather. Buckles run across. The sole is also made of leather.
Now the other one, please.
Just before Gabriel, it was the coronation of Franco Negro. Now, there was a real man.
There's no operation in the pattern that you can see. She puts her foot down.
Moreover, the boots were size 37. tiny. There are too many discrepancies in all this.
She's not an odd soul. These are the boots that made the prints.
I could have told you that from just looking at them. Size is 37.
The feet of a little girl.
She
They
smiles.
fit well on the pedals.
You seem like a woman who knows a thing or two about drugs.
What do I need drugs for, Lowman? What I see, what I feel. The great adversary. No drugs can compare.
The adversary.
Yes. There is a protagonista
She gestures the
and
intersection.
an adversario. I am on the side of the adversary. There's no coming back from that hole.
Protagonista, huh?
Those epithets are familiar somehow. The great adversary. The great unrest.
It's not really what I was getting at.
Then what were you getting at?
What is it that you're hauling exactly?
You're man, Lowman. What of it?
Okay, let me put this another way. Are you smuggling drugs through Terminal B?
Maybe.
You sure the
Probably
crack
not.
is shoe drugs?
Makes no difference to me either way.
You said earlier you don't know what cargo you're hauling. Could it be drugs?
Just this month, I made half a dozen trips from Saramiriza to Grat, on the U41A. What do you think they take from Saramiriza to Grat, Lowman?
Drugs?
No, Lowman, diamonds.
She grunts. If you had to guess, who do you think is smuggling drugs around here?
Easy. He's the skinny man who thinks he's a poet. Never trust a poet.
She squints across the
Also,
square.
he's the only one I can see from here.
That's correct. There is no visibility of any of the others.
I didn't ask you about diamonds, did I? I don't care about that.
Diamonds are good for you, Lowman. You should try them sometime. Make yourself pretty like Eva de Zoras.
Okay, if you're not involved with the drug trafficking, then why are you still waiting here?
Where do you want me to go? This isn't so bad. I can listen to music, or the seagulls. Look at all the colors and the features of this world. It's a good palate cleanser, this jamboree. Or I can just relax and let my mind carry me back where it will, to the Great Plains.
I think we're done here, no?
He closes his notebook to stress it. Thank you for now.
Yes, go. Enough jamboree. I need to get back to Mesky.
Your voice trails off. Well, smoker on the balcony. Sometime after 12. Get a reality road down. Keep asking Joyce questions about reality. Return waiter. Yeah. Joyce's info. Yep. Jam mystery. Well, I talked to the two drivers. Now there should be a third one around here somewhere, but the third driver is the bigger mystery of this. Unfortunately, from everything I could see, seemed no sign of them. Well then, if we can't find the other driver around here, how about we go back to the union boss so we can report our job complete, get information on the body at least, get at least something.
Mr. Dubois, every worker...
Waiting for you to complete his sentence. Is a member of the board.
That's right, Mr. Dubois.
He nods in approval.
I see the socialist democratic fervor now burns in your heart, too. How can I help you today?
I opened the door you asked me. Can we discuss the murder now?
I'm very glad to hear that, Harry. One question. You didn't actually happen to stumble in and see what's inside the apartment, did you?
There is no way to sway this man in any direction.
Yeah.
He is unsuggestible and unswayable. Just tell the truth.
Yeah. I may have gone inside and seen a collection of racist mugs.
Just as I thought. Culturally antiquated mug collection. What a weasel.
Shakes his
Pissing
head.
on Everart's Rainbow Coalition.
Rainbow Coalition.
Now let's get down to brass tacks. It's time for men like me and you to figure out who's killed who and why.
He pretends to roll up
Real
his
police
sleeves.
work is gonna start happening now. I promise you, Harry, this is gonna be good.
Wait. The mug collection I mentioned was in the apartment. I found a similar mug in the trash with the hangman's clothes.
Racist mugs in the trash and in the apartment?
He grabs his head with both
You guys
hands.
are just light years ahead of me. I have so much confidence in the ability of your organization. I'm relieved you're doing this and leaving me to do what I do best. Helping people. With the power of politics.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Do you think this weasel is somehow connected to the murder?
Oh, no, 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 no. I don't cross paths like that.
He shakes his head,
All
laughing.
I want is for you to succeed in your investigation. I would never complicate things for you.
But this weasel might have cleaned up after the killers.
Believe me, Harry, he's a nobody. Just your basement variety nobody. Can't imagine him being connected to a high-caliber case like this.
Uh-huh.
But he does live nearby. Maybe it's a pedantic weasel. Fascists are known to be neat freaks. I feel like a real detective right now, Harry. Am I getting this right?
He imitates bashing something with an imaginary baton. Great. Say nothing.
Of course, Harry. Stoic silence. I like that. Very befitting a police officer.
He
I'm
bounced
not a
on a
real
wheelchair.
detective. You are.
Anyway, before we continue on, I need to level some stuff up. I think I need to get a, yeah, let's unlock this. Then internalize derealization. Alright. Back to it. So the lynching and the striker related. How?
By now, I'm sure you've figured out who the dead man was working for. The bad guys. Wild Pines. Sent to scare us. Another violent measure of the top hats against us flatcaps.
What do you mean?
Harry, this strike is the culmination of many, many mistakes made by the Wild Pines group. They tried to shut the strike down by sending in armed mercenaries.
Aha, so that's why he called him a mercenary earlier.
You mean our victim?
A security contractor.
No, it's great.
Can you imagine that? Workers standing in peaceful protest, united in the spirit of fellowship, and they send hired killers to mow us down with machine gun fire?
Huh.
He performs a motion as if spraying bullets from a machine gun.
I'm talking beasts. Hardened killers from proxy wars in Yisut, Semenine, Saramaritsa, you name it, they've done it. Raping, killing, burning villages, killing little children for the Senorita Pineapple Company, Harry.
Yeah, huh?
Everything they did there, they brought over here. They want to turn Revachol into a third world slum. Honestly, the only thing they didn't do is kill the village elephant.
Go on.
Now, I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out there. I have the luxury of staying in my container, you see. If I need to go somewhere, they just move my container.
He laughs. Wait, they moved the container?
Yes, I'm an old man, Harry. My legs aren't what they used to be. They lift my office with that big crane. It's actually very fun. You should try it. But enough about me and my fun container.
His face
The
turns
killers the
serious.
company hired, I think there were 3 of them, all hardened commando types.
3, huh?
One of them got downright suicidal, getting drunk, violent, a little rapey.
He shakes his
Even
head.
their own negotiator couldn't control him. That's your boy, the one who likes hanging out and trees.
Huh.
By negotiator, you mean Joyce?
Yeah.
Harry,
He says
what you
Negorian
need to
lieutenant.
realize is, we dock workers are not pushovers.
Yeah, huh?
We got grit, Harry. This whole neighborhood does. Push us hard enough and we push back. And when we do,
He
we
raises his
push to
finger.
kill.
Wait. The whole neighborhood is in on it?
Potentially, Harry, potentially. We got arm wrestling champions, rowing club people, ex-coal miners, tough guys, all ready to spring into action for their home base.
Who exactly did the pushing?
There's a militant wing inside the Union. A group of people whose duties don't involve manual labor, but peacekeeping in the neighborhood, making sure everything runs smoothly.
Enforcers, pretty much.
That sounds a bit like organized crime.
Yeah, a bit.
They're like you guys.
You know, so you and Lieutenant.
Idealistic people who want to make sure bad things don't happen. And if they already have, well, punishment must follow.
So you're just saying that your guys killed him.
Again, that sounds like organized crime.
So these idealists killed our victim?
One day Titus Hardy, leader of this peacekeeping faction, comes up to me and says, "Boss, socialist democratic fervor drove us to take it upon ourselves to kill this beast that was burdening the land." He probably worded it differently, but that was the idea. Sure sounded to me like they killed him.
He chuckles.
I gave them 2 weeks paid leave and told them to lay low to avoid retaliation.
Uh-huh.
Aren't you worried we might arrest them for this?
Oh, I'm not at all worried about that. These are not the kind of men who get arrested. They're Martinez boys, tough and gritty. I'd like to see the man who takes them in.
He chuckles.
Besides, I sent my lawyer girl to look after them.
Ah, the warrior
If he's
girl.
just boasting, then it sure doesn't feel like that to you. He's not worried.
Yeah.
He places a lot of faith in that lawyer girl. Perhaps this is a tactical error. Anyway.
How do you know the mercenaries are hired by the shipping company?
How do I know? Let me tell you about these people.
He slams his fist on the
That's
desk.
their MO. It's what they do.
Yeah.
Last winter, some poor workers in Terminal E went on a little strike. The company sent in Sediment, a security contractor. The strike was over the workers' right to wear protective footwear, Harry. These guys turn up and start beating people. Tell you what, Harry, I wouldn't be surprised if we got the same mercenary company after a little rebranding. And I'm sure as hell not surprised to see an army of scabs under my gates.
So you believe the scabs were organized by the security contractor?
You said it. Hell, one of
Fist
those
slams on the
guys
desk
looks
again.
big enough to take down that proverbial elephant. Boys like that don't just happen to show up during strikes.
And from our looking at him, his clothes don't really fit him at all. So he could very well be likely hired by Pines.
He's not scared of them. If anything, he likes them being here. Strange.
Perhaps he likes the challenge. You mentioned the warrior girl.
Oh, Liz is a bright one.
He grins
I
broadly.
paid for that law degree myself, thinking it'll probably turn her all fancy. But hell, Harry, she came back a firebrand socialist. Sometimes she scares me with her zeal.
Tell me about Titus Hardy and his crew.
Oh, they are simply fine young men, all 7 of them.
7?
Exemplary
Shit.
union members, always working to advance their position in the local socialist democratic movement. Core members. Old Theo used to run them, but things really kicked into gear when Titus took the reins and named the group after himself. Gotta love his initiative.
Huh.
Interesting. Who's second in command?
They're almost all of them great guys, born leaders. Whatever happened, I'm sure they only had the best interests of Martinez and Revachol in mind.
Uh-huh.
Work with them. Hell, interview them. But don't fight them. They really are just like you. Men who like beer, women, and some order on the streets.
Where can I find him? The union booth in the whirling was empty.
You know what, Harry? I got a
Points
feeling they're
pointing
going
at
to
you.
show up in full force tomorrow.
Oh boy.
The lieutenant marks something in his notebook.
In the future, I could use your backing. Can you ask the Hardy boys to cooperate?
But of course, it's the least I can do for my good friend Harry. I'll do it right after we've concluded this talk.
Well, I always just want to make it easier for us to talk to them.
When you meet this Titus, tell him about this. See what he has to say.
Also, Harry, here's 5 real.
Take it.
The lieutenant watches you pocket the banknote. He looks a little puzzled.
Good boy, a real team player. Now, do you have any more questions?
Good talk. That's
Was
good
it
for
a good
now.
talk? I'm not sure we made
Wait,
much
so
headway
wait.
here. I was hoping we'd bust the case wide open. Heck, I even wanted to tell you what I really want to achieve with the strike. I don't know what happened, Harry. I wanted you to feel like Mr. Martinez. And of course, I also wanted you to find your gun.
Great
But
sadness comes
it's
over.
like I can't completely trust you. Yet.
Yet.
Yes, Harry. It's like I can't fully trust you if you're not a man of the left. I want to, but I just
Says so, he's shaking his head.
A man of the left, so you have to be a social democrat. He's been hurt too much in the past by men who aren't social democrats.
I'm not a man of the left. I'm a patriot of Revachol. You know what? Fuck it. You're right not to trust me. They take care of me. I'm a hustler. I grind. I'm a money engineer.
Perfect, Harry. That's perfect.
He claps his hands.
My version of the left is not against the companies. It's with the companies. Honestly, what I have in mind is a business proposal. A left-wing business proposal, but still...
And what would this entail?
Once again, I require nothing unethical or illegal of you. You just need to get 2 little signatures on this piece of paper.
Pulls out an
and
envelope.
then mail it to my accountant in La Delta.
What are the signatures for?
I'm glad you asked, Harry. The Union is going to build a modern youth centre in Martinez.
Yeah.
It will be righteous. We're gonna get those teenagers off drugs and on roller skates.
Of course.
There's a nameless little street on the coast with some old houses around it. Most people have already signed. I just need 2 more signatures to get this mission off the ground, Harry.
Kim, what do you think of this?
It depends. I don't think what we just got from Mr. Clare was very useful.
Studies of art.
But, he thinks, it's your call.
I think this son of a bitch has my gun, though.
As I said, it weighs on me heavily.
Bows his head
But
and
once we
looks
get
up and
really
smiles.
talking, well, I'm gonna hand you the keys to Martinez, and maybe even help you figure out who's behind this killing.
He's saying as little as possible, as vaguely as he can, deliberately omitting things.
Where's this place exactly?
On the coast, Harry, across the canal. There's a cul-de-sac there, a little village they're calling it. A gloomy place. You'll find it. I trust your detective skills, Harry.
What will happen to the current occupants?
They are just gonna have to deal with the construction noise for 6 months, and then they'll be living like kings. Right next to a fancy new youth centre, designed by the best architects from Stella Marie.
Is he absolutely sure the tenants won't be thrown out in the street?
You're 100% sure no one's going to end up homeless.
Am I?
Big man
Harry,
shakes his head in
these
disbelief.
people, Martinez is the most important thing in my life. I would never let anything bad happen to them. We're gonna build a youth centre there. The value of their properties goes up and kids have a place to play in. I'm looking out for these people, not pulling the rug from under them, Harry. I'm looking out for all of Martinez, not just the harbour.
So you can take over more of it, get more property.
He means it.
Fine. If I happen to be there, I can ask them.
You bring joy to my heart, Harry. Such a pleasure to be working with you. Here.
He hands you an open white envelope.
You need to get signatures from Isabel Sadie and Lillian Carter. The cul-de-sac is right past the pawn shop and across the canal. I hear there is some trouble with the waterlock, but they should fix it by Wednesday morning. Once you have the signatures, mail this to 13022 La Rocca in La Delta. Then I know we can do business together.
He runs his fingers through his thin hair. I met Joyce, the company representative.
Oh, that's very nice. I haven't gotten around to her yet. I'm very, very busy, you see.
He just
I hope you're getting along. One thing I want to make very clear, Harry, is that this is not some kind of union versus corporation situation. Everyone is just pals here.
Just pals, huh?
We're all trying to do what's best for Martinez.
His smile
Don't
widens.
feel like you can't cooperate with her because you and I are such good friends and I'm helping you find your lost gun. I'm not a jealous guy.
Whoa, that's so nice of him. Suspiciously nice.
Yeah. Are you sure? Find it a little odd.
I'm just a nice guy, Harry. I wouldn't be where I am now if I wasn't nice. Politics is all about emotions, and I want you to have positive emotions when you think of me.
What happened to the previous negotiator, Mr. Galmont?
What do you mean, Harry?
Big man
Nothing.
sounds annoyed.
I let him go.
You made concessions for the company in previous negotiations. Why would you let an ally like that go?
He's an old man, Harry. I wanted him to spend more time with his family. God knows how long he's got left.
You called him a midget.
Harry,
Explains
I have
Indian.
little people in my organization. I would never call someone a midget. What is this?
What if it was his brother?
Honestly, I'm beginning to think you're a midget, Harry.
Abruptly
I'm
smiles
only
and changes
kidding,
tone.
Harry. You're not a midget. No one is. We're pals.
Jesus Christ, I cannot trust any of these fuckers. Like, seriously, the only trustworthy character is Kim. That's the only guy I can, like, actually trust to tell to me straight. Joyce said the previous union leader vanished under suspicious circumstances.
Vanished? Harry, the woman left her casserole in the oven and couldn't make it here in time for the voting.
What?
Oh, did I leave my casserole on? Better go home and check. The election can wait.
The man frowns
When she
disapprovingly.
got back, the whole thing was over.
Wait, there was no mention of a casserole from Joyce.
Funny, Joyce didn't mention any casserole.
Harry, Harry, Harry.
Flicks his fingers.
Do not fixate on this little matter. Maybe it was a rabbit stew, or a hairdryer, or an iron. The point is, her heart wasn't in it. Mine was.
Uh-huh.
If it's spilled blood you're looking for, then there certainly isn't any in his expression or demeanor now.
Told Joyce that I met you.
It's perfectly okay. Even if you've told her everything we've talked about, it's absolutely fine.
Huh. Everard, Joyce seems to think the union is lowballing her.
Yes, yes. Low balling, of course.
He's suddenly very
This
serious.
isn't a casino, Harry. Real people, real livelihoods are at stake here. But everything's a casino for those rich types.
His expression makes it clear. This is childish and irresponsible behavior.
Why haven't you let her in to see you?
If she actually wants to see me, she will find a way. Any good negotiator would. And I just don't have anything to discuss with a bad negotiator.
He doesn't want to see her. It's as simple as that.
Okay, let's talk about something else.
Of course, Harry. Let me just assure you one more time. It's perfectly okay to share anything we discuss here with this Joyce. This is a completely transparent organization. I have no interest in what she is doing, but I myself have nothing to hide. Your business is your business, and I respect your privacy. Just remember, none of this
He makes an
is
unconfident
secret.
gesture.
Tell her about all of it. My brother's picture, my singing swordfish clock.
He looks around.
Tell her how overweight I am and how I'm helping you find your lost gun. Tell her about everything. Everard doesn't mind.
Huh.
It is rather interesting to tell people things about each other, isn't it? It was nice telling him about her right now.
It was. Do I go for I'm told the union is involved in the local drug trade? What's in the container that's outside your office?
My dear Harry, there are literally millions of containers in this harbor. I couldn't possibly remember what's in all of them.
There's something special about it. It's attached to a Cavasson crane,
Harry, you smooth-talking son of a bitch.
he says with
Time
fondest
is a
smiles.
precious resource, and I don't have enough of it to count containers with you.
Smooth talking. Maybe that's the way to go about opening the container. You should at least try convincing it.
I mean, I guess I could. No. Okay, I did it, Everard. I turned it off.
What?
And looks at you confused. The shady brew told me to make it even shadier. I didn't. It had an alcohol in it. Now there's no alcohol.
Did I? Well done then, Harry. I like not knowing about it, and I'm sure you made the right call. I spend the whole day delegating tasks, and it's a great relief to see people taking initiative. I don't even want to know what all of that means. Brew, shady, alcohol, turned off. I'm gonna let the world surprise me.
You know what? Fuck it. I did quick. You know what? Fuck it. I'm told the union is involved in the local drug trade.
What?
Smacks his
Harry,
forehead, completely
how could
flabbergasted.
you say that to me? You know I appreciate a joke as much as any jolly fat guy, but I can't take slander. Are you actually investigating this?
No comment.
Harry.
Besides.
You wound me, Harry. In the heart. But I trust you to put this to bed. Do what you must, and let's change the subject, shall we?
He's hiding his real reaction beneath courtesy.
Yeah.
Thank you for your understanding. We will continue to do what we must.
Looks him in the eye.
You too, Lieutenant.
Chuckles in a way.
You know, I like you, but you never were my favorite. I'm a Harry guy. I'm Team Harry.
None taken.
Do
we have anything else to do here, Harry?
Can we go over a few details concerning the murder again?
Most certainly, Harry. Nothing brightens my day like brainstorming these things with you.
Okay, nothing else.
By all means, Harry. What's on your mind?
Get out of
See
here.
you soon, debardeur.
Big man waves his
Just
hand in
kidding,
farewell.
but not too much.
A white envelope of stamped attached to the upper right corner, handed to you by Everard Clare. Inside are some legal documents with 2 names printed on them. Isabel Sadie and Lieutenant Carter. Both signatures are required. Okay then, let's get the fuck out of here. Damn my brain and my curiosity. Every time I want to go for every response. Because, well, just that type of guy. Just too curious. Even curious
hey,
about
mister. I'd nearly be back to talk with old Leo here. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. It's like Lady Larice said when she...
Okay.
No trouble at all, mister.
Nothing. Alright, let's get the fuck out of here. Talk to the driver one more time, perhaps, and call it a day. Now, I wonder if I can persuade it.
You're back before the cargo container. Its draw has not lessened since you were last here. If anything, it seems to have grown slightly.
Not yet. Not yet, you giant cargo bitch. Not yet. One day I'll open you. Now, what's inside that cargo is one of 2 things. 1, it's nothing. 2, it's everything. Composite eye of Hale Jen Whites watches you, emitting a little buzz. Like, they keep building it up like there's possibly nothing in that container. And it really could go one of 2 ways. It could be like there really is nothing in that container. Or, it has every single answer we want. Oh, wait. That's right, there is one more warrior driver. This motherfucker. Forgot all about you.
Looking for something, Hunt? Come to tell me to fuck off again?
You're a warrior man, right? Just stands on drugs.
Drugs? They're shit, man. I don't let anything pollute my body.
Takes a long drag on a cigarette. Why not?
You know where that shit comes from? Sarah Miriza, Safre, Ilmara. They take the money from our local junkies here and then use it to outcompete us in the manufacturing sector.
Yeah. Typically racists don't like drugs.
They know they can't beat us in a fair fight, so they have to get us to weaken ourselves somehow. It's racial sabotage, racial economic sabotage.
So I take it you're not smuggling drugs out of Marnaise?
Not in, not out. I'll never betray the purity of my tribe.
So you're telling us that you don't know anything about drug smuggling through Terminal B?
I don't know shit. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you.
You puffs on a cigarette. Then what are you still hanging out around here for? Most of the commoners have left.
What do you think? I can't leave the lorry unguarded. Stuff's been getting looted lately. It's those little kips sneaking around at night. If they touch my stuff, the bosses will be on my ass like ass cancer.
There was a bunch of spilled boxes in the back of a big lorry nearby.
I did see one warrior with the trailer doors open on my way here. You know what happened?
Yeah, I knew that guy. He was an honest driver who loved this country. We were having a good debate about genetics at the Wheeling in Rags when some kip boys smashed his lock and took damn near everything. Lost his fucking job over it. Since you left, I
Savory
haven't
and
had
savory.
anyone to talk to.
Savor and taste.
If they were getting drunk inside the whirling in rags, how could they know who broke into the lorry?
If you were all at whirling, how do you know it was Kips who broke into the worry?
What? Aren't we allowed to say that it's a Kips who do all the stealing around here? That's not road to science, man.
If it's not you, then who's wanting drugs for Terminal B?
Isn't it obvious? Fucking Sealang, that beady-eyed South Samaran. His little side business is a scam. I wouldn't be surprised if he was peddling drugs as well.
Who's that?
He's a Samaran guy who likes to pretend he's some kind of businessman. Really, he's just selling his employer stuff. Stuff he stole after he broke the seals on his Humanox lorry.
Where do I find him?
Just follow the smell. It smells like apricot and oil when you're nearby.
Boy, man lets out a raspy croak at his own sense of humor.
Yes, yes. Where is he?
Looks like I offended your partner there.
Doesn't look at the lieutenant.
Too bad. Sealang's usually a little bit south of here, near the canal. You can't miss him. Just watch yourselves. His tribe are natural liars. It's in their blood.
He nods in
He's your
savory
man,
manner.
right?
Don't forget that.
100%.
I wouldn't be so sure about it. Not until we've heard what Sealang himself has to say.
Guess we need to pay Sailing a visit then.
Guess so.
He grins, content with himself. Nice other save. Yeah. Down to Canal, eh? Well, might as well go down here. Plus, I need to sell off this as well. The ancient fountain doesn't pump water anymore. There's a tree in it. Ah, here he is.
There are clothes inside. Cheap second-hand clothes, smelling of strangers' body odors.
Huh. Side business,
Don't be shy. These are premium class clothes. Good quality fabrics, best retro design. Save the economy with your style, officer.
Save the economy? That sounds off.
Save the economy. What are you talking about?
Haven't you heard, officer? We've got to be economically conscious. Recycle your cash, keep it in circulation. Don't buy new things. Buy eco.
Thanks for your advice. I'll try to be more economically conscious.
Very cool. The economy thanks you, officer.
Wait for now. Alright, we need to talk to you, Swang.
You see a Samaran street vendor surrounded by a motley assemblage of goods. When he realizes you're looking at him, his face breaks into a wide, welcoming grin. The name Sealang is embroidered over his breast pocket.
Happy shopping, officer. Everything's cool here.
He gives you a thumbs up. What's so cool?
Everything's cool. The goods are cool, the customers are cool, the place is cool. And one more thing, officer. You're very cool.
Makes both
Bang,
finger,
bang, bang, bang.
finger pistols and fires a few finger bullets into air. Whether I'm cool is unimportant. I have police questions for you.
You're right, officer. 100%. No playing around then. Strictly business. Maybe I can interest you in some premium menswear instead.
Where are you from, Swang?
Me? It's a boring story, officer. Who cares about the past? I'm all business now. All revolution.
Sounds good. Let's get back to this business then.
Very cool. I like your style, officer.
So, Swang, what's your status on drugs?
Drugs?
For a moment, you
I
seem sure
don't go in for that, officer. Drugs ruin lives. Unless you're into drugs, of course. In which case, drugs are excellent. What? Tasty, tasty drugs.
Alright, this Swang's cool. And we're looking for... I actually don't like drugs.
That's very cool. I don't like drugs either. I only said I do because I didn't want to sound lame.
He
Peer
smiles.
pressure.
Sir, it appears to be true. No drugs in sight. Not in the box of sunglasses or under the speakers.
Looking for a warrior driver is transporting drugs out of the harbor. He or she's in this traffic jam.
That's even cooler. You investigating narcotics crimes like that? But
He points to the goods.
I am not a lorry driver. I'm just a street vendor. I don't know anything about that.
But you are a warrior man. Another driver has identified you, and you're warrior.
Who said that? It's the fat racist, right? I bet it's him. He has an agenda against me because I'm an immigrant who works harder than he does. He's a hater.
Now, okay, this actually does line up. So that means Joyce didn't know about Silwang. Because she only mentioned 3 drivers. Never mentioned 4.
So you admit you're a lorry driver?
No, I just said I work harder and he's an asshole.
He stops to think.
Realizing he can't get out of it. Smart man.
Okay, maybe I'm a lorry driver too. A little. But that's not the most important thing about me. That's my day job.
This spreads his arms.
Is my dream.
So you were embarrassed to tell me?
No, I just forgot. It's such a small part of my life. It's in the rear view mirror now. I'm climbing out of that hole with ingenuity.
Ooh, should I go for my source tells me you're the one transporting drugs for the union? Just to, like, peer pressure? You know what? Let's go with peer pressure. So, like, my source tells me you're the one transporting drugs for the union.
No! That's insane! It's the fat hater. He's been eyeing me for a week and he sent you here. Maybe he's the one, huh? Have you thought about that?
Stop squirming. What do you know about the drug operation at the harbor?
Nothing. I told you. I'm not a dumb guy. I don't get involved with that crowd.
But why didn't you mention you were a warrior driver when we first talked to you?
And what crowd is that?
Crowd. You know, the drug crowd.
No, he wasn't talking about an abstract crowd. It was that crowd.
It wasn't some drug crowd. You know who they are. Tell me now.
Shush, please.
He looks around and lowers
There's
his voice.
bad people doing bad things here. That's all I know. Please, don't get me into this mess. I spent 15 years working my way up.
Here we go. There's a tiny bit of truth on the table. Zoom in on it. We're buddies, Silwang. Help us out. No one will know it was you.
It's a she, okay?
She.
Other drivers call her the lady driver. You're better off staying away from her. The way they talk about her,
Shakes his head.
she's no lady.
Is the lady driver the old woman back there? Points to the pale driver. Dazed out. Strange.
I don't know. Maybe. If she is, I haven't gone near her. I don't get involved. I told you.
It could be. She was strange. He's not ruling her out.
Or are these other drivers who talk?
All of them. I don't know. I told you all I know. Are we cool now? I really want us to be cool now.
Who exactly is talking about this lady driver of yours? The racist or the other one with the tattoos?
Points north.
All of them. Even the ones who've left. I don't hang out with them. I don't remember who has tattoos.
Okay, we're cool now.
All right. I scored. Let's cap this off with a purchase. You can walk away from here with funky sunglasses, detectives. Both of you. You deserve it.
Alright, I'm going to persuade him since I need the money. Let it out the lady driver.
Start with a little compliment, then work your way up from there. This is about business, remember.
Hey, you seem like a really successful entrepreneur. Would you like to support a member of the local police force?
Oh, okay.
The man stops, his face suddenly serious.
But why, officer?
After all this mess, the broken seals, lying to you, come
I
on.
mean, think of it as an investment.
An investment?
Waves the brown shriek.
What kind of investment?
Or you could not make this about corruption and go with something even wilder.
You know what? We should go. Well, you know what? He wants his dream. It's an investment in your customer base. Gotta prime the pump, man.
Fair point. You can't have a successful business without a loyal customer base. How much is your loyalty worth?
10 real.
10 real is a bargain for that kind of investment. You got it, my man.
Takes a 10 note from a leather pouch. I'll look around, thanks. Alright. So, weighty driver.
There's a pile of cheap sunglasses in a small box. A variety of shapes and colors.
You like sunglasses, officer? I've got the latest styles right here.
Vendor takes a pair of sunglasses, sticks them under your nose. Let's wait for her now. I want to go to that damn pawn shop. Is this it? Or is this one of the houses? Oh, there's the bridge. Damn, it is. Boys pawn shop. Fantastic. Okay, let me sell off this pin that she gave me. Alright, boy.
It's not often that I see officers from the RCM in my pawn shop.
The man in the corner turns to you slowly.
What can I do for you?
He asks.
His courtesy is not insincere, but he prefers being alone with his projector, just watching the movement of light across the walls of the shop.
Sorry, feel like I'm interrupting you.
Oh no, not at all.
Flashes a smile.
I guess I haven't had many customers lately. RCM or otherwise.
I love how unique each of these characters are. They're so good. I love their portraits too. Like, every single conversation is just like, just a brand new adventure. It just shows you how good the fucking writing is.
Who are your customers usually?
All kinds of people come through here. Locals, travelers, people looking for a deal, people looking for a keepsake, people who are terminally bored. As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from.
Quite the collection indeed.
It keeps me entertained.
His attention is drawn once more to the play of white and shadow on the walls behind you. Something I'd like to sell.
Let me have a look.
I have this commemorative pin, but before I sell it, I have some questions.
Jean-Baptiste summer dinghy rates is 31. What a pleasant time that was.
Studies the pin carefully, rolling around in his palm.
So, what do you want to know? Price? I can give you $3.20 for it.
320, hey, that's a whip-off.
A pin from 31 ought to be priced at $3.10, but I added another 10 cents just to be nice.
That's all I want to know about the pin, thanks.
Sure thing. So, do you want to sell anything?
Check my fucking pockets.
Anything else you're thinking of selling?
Alright. Sell the pin. Nope. Pawn that. And... no, I don't want to pawn that. God, I need money. I don't think I'm going to get enough money, unfortunately. Like, most I'm going to get is like $70, which is unfortunate. I just don't have enough money. I'm at like, best I can get is $70. I don't have anything to sell at the moment.
Another time, perhaps.
I have other business to... well, by the way, do you have, happen to have any guns, like the ones carried by cops?
Someone else came here earlier today asking the same question. I promptly sold her the gun you pawned a couple days back.
What?
This is a pawn shop, and it did feel as if you've met before. Oh God.
You have got to be kidding me.
The lieutenant shifts from one foot to another, alert.
Wait. I sold you my gun?
You were adamant about getting rid of it, officer. Said you were undeserving of a service weapon of the Revachol Citizens Militia.
I fucking pawned off my gun? God damn it, of course that's how Everard would fucking know about it.
And I don't like keeping guns around the shop for long. Off the charts photon emissions. The unhealthy kind.
Did I sell it off because I was probably going to kill myself if I kept it on me?
He's not telling you the whole story. It seems he's trying to spare you.
I feel like there's something you're not telling me.
You weren't quiet yourself, officer.
What was I like?
You were very distraught. You said the gun was a threat to your life and that you can't trust yourself with it tonight. And that you need the money.
Jesus.
When I said that I don't normally buy firearms, you put the gun barrel in your mouth and sort of sucked on it. Then I agreed to take it.
Jesus.
Very normal behavior. You must have been in great shape.
Wait, how much did I sell the gun for?
15 real.
Fucking, I didn't have 15 real in my pocket.
The lieutenant looks from you to Roy, and then back to you. It's clear that he hopes this tableau might still turn out to be a bad dream. It's not, though. This has got to be the most... Wow.
I'm not that man anymore, okay, Kim?
There's pity there, too. In case you didn't notice.
Of course. I'm so sorry you had to see me in that state. State. Don't have to talk about it any further.
No apologies necessary, officer.
Was the buyer a policeman too?
She didn't seem like a policeman, although she kept referring to herself as a pig, which was odd. I found her interest in the gun a bit obsessive.
Pig.
But I was just happy to get rid of it, and of her. Truth be told, she was terrifying.
What if it's the warrior girl Everard has?
Right, so let me get this right. You
here.
sold your sidearm, issued by the Citizens Militia, and now a civilian is running around the streets of Martinez with it?
Yeah, Kim.
Miraculously, his face does not reveal what's happening inside.
I don't like it here. But what if she tends to... I don't like it either. What if she intends to commit a crime and blame it on the Citizens Militia?
You're right that she could cast aspersions on the force. We have to find her.
He looks around worried. Any idea where I can find this buyer?
My apologies, officer, but I have no idea where she was coming from or where she went.
A needle in a haystack. There is nothing you can do about it right now. You just have to hope Everard wasn't lying, and the Union can track her down in time.
Have people from Everard's careers a Union come here to track that gun?
Maybe. Shady-looking guys came in here yesterday, looking like they'd just taken off their Wild Pines overalls. They asked if I have a police weapon to sell. I told them I already sold it.
Huh.
They went their way. It was a trip, but you know, all sorts of people come here, asking for all sorts of things.
Not really. In it, aren't you, Lloyd? But won't blame me for that.
Maybe Claire really is tracking down your gun.
At least, now I know how I lost my sidearm. Let's talk about something else.
Of course.
God. Might be able to aid our investigation.
I doubt it, but I can try and answer any questions you may have.
Know anything about the recent hanging?
I do my best to keep my distance from all manner of butchery. Bad for business, bad for everyone.
That's all I got.
The pawnbroker's gaze is already fixed on the dancing colors.
I have other business to take care of now. I sold my fucking gun.
We should think about calling it a day, maybe. The nights are still miserably cold this time of year.
I haven't paid the cafeteria manager for damages yet.
You should take care of that, then.
But I don't have the money.
Let's talk to him anyway. An officer of the RCM shouldn't be sleeping in the streets. We'll figure something out.
Man, I tried, man.
Though he finds this situation frustrating, he is doing his best to not make you feel any worse than you already do.
Oh, he's sympathetic to me. Thank you, Kim. Alright. Wow, I can't believe just me trying to sell off my shit actually got us to... I sold my fucking gun. God damn it. Jesus. How fucked up was Harry before, like, we became him? Like, Jesus. God, what the hell did happen to us before? Selling our gun. Suicide. Jesus. Alright, let's hope we can persuade him to take my 66 real. I'll give it to him. I got nothing else to use it for. What's this? Inside you catch a glimpse of Union paraphernalia. Strike poster. Some more pennants.
Can I help you?
So about that money I owe.
Yes. Have you got it?
I was wondering if we could come to some sort of arrangement for tonight.
Does that arrangement include you paying me what we already agreed you owe me?
Kim is about to say something. Let him.
I understand your predicament as the manager. However,
he adjusts his glasses.
I feel I must remind you that we are here to conduct an important investigation that also affects your business.
Forgive me for saying this, but your colleague seems more committed to drinking, and...
He stops mid-sentence.
I mean no offense. It's really nothing personal. I just have to protect the interests of this establishment.
Hold on, I still have my key, you know.
Good luck trying to use it.
Taps his foot against the metal box and saw the back of the counter.
Draconian measures.
All the locks have an electronic component. They have to be unlocked down here with a master key before your guest key will open the lock.
This conversation isn't going anywhere, is it?
Not until you bring me the money.
Okay. I might have something in my motor carriage we can use when you're done here.
I really didn't want to resort to this. The man is thinking.
Oh, Lieutenant. We're done here.
Man, I fucking tried, Garte. Let's go to the motor carriage, Kim. Fucking 130 real.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
I have something here we could sell. Look in the back, in the suspect transport enclosure.
Transport enclosure? Regular people just call it the cage.
Look in the suspect transport enclosure.
The cage at the back of the motor carriage looks rather uncomfortable. 4 shiny hubcaps are stacked against the seat. Their silver edges sparkle in the dark.
Whoa.
I confiscated these 4 a little while back. We can take them to the pawn shop down by the Martinez Canal.
What are those things?
There are spinner hubcaps, frivolous things you put on your wheels. When the wheels come to a stop, the caps keep on spinning.
Motion.
There's no real use for them, it's just for vanity.
A vanity he wouldn't mind.
What do you mean you confiscated them?
A couple of weeks ago, I stopped a young man for going slower than the speed of traffic. Turns out he was some coalition official's son and high.
So, you took his spinners?
Mm-hmm. I took them and arrested him for driving under the influence.
I get it. I would have confiscated them too. They're mesmerizing.
That they are. I was going to take them into evidence, but they weren't necessary for conviction. He never asked for them back.
Thanks. I appreciate your help.
The lieutenant nods, as you take the spinners.
Okay. Please, would this be enough? I have 60 bucks. There's 4 of them. So please, wouldn't be 20 something. I have 66. I have to be close. Please, for the love of God. Just any. Oh, thank God, it's 200. The magnificent hubcap spinners that Lieutenant Kitsuroki has donated to you so that you can pay for your room at the whirling. They're state blue and shimmer brightly in the white. Hell, if I sell this, I'll have money to spare. Even. Thank you, Kim. Truly, thank you. You're a good man. That I have to deal with the consequences of my past actions that I don't remember doing.
Greetings on this fine night. What brings you here?
It's cool that you're still open. Big city vibes.
The pawn shop is always open.
Damn right.
Yes,
So,
we'd like to sell these hubcaps.
Lieutenant steps in and hands him the spinners.
Roy takes the hubcaps from the lieutenant and inspects them. The spinners appear iridescent in the dancing light of his pawn shop.
Yes, these are very, very good. Did you defraud some foreign prince for them? Jump a mesk banger? No matter. I'll give you 200 real.
No one was defrauded or jumped, I assure you.
The lieutenant explains as the pawnbroker opens the register and counts the cash.
Of course. I meant no offense. 200 real for you, officer. Delightful doing business with you. Do come again.
Thank you.
He takes the cash and turns to you.
Here's the 130 real you need for your bill. Do not waste it.
The rest goes in his pocket.
The rest is for him, to compensate for the pain of being separated from his radiant spinners.
Fair enough.
The windfall is a small consolation.
Anything else you're thinking of selling?
Both the lieutenant and the pawnbroker turn to you.
Another time, perhaps.
Alright, let's get the hell out of here and finally end this first day that I've already spent 4 episodes in. It really does show you how much there is to do within a single day in this game, which I like. I actually like that. Like, time actually progresses kind of realistically. A bit speed up, yes, but it just goes to show you how much you can achieve within just one day's work of investigation. I mean, hell, let's just take a look at our journal. Like, we have like so much shit like we have to do. We got the end of day break, pay for damages, signatures for Everard. Look at the done thing as well. So much shit. Just what? Just quite a lot. Alright, Everard.
Can I help you?
He arches an eyebrow. So about that money.
Yes. Have you got it?
I have your money.
Well?
Here is. Sorry for the trouble.
Great. Thank you, officer. That's all I wanted. Payment for services rendered. If you continue to stay here, I just ask that you please pay your nightly bill in advance starting tomorrow.
How much?
He's not sorry about his behavior for your sake. Now that you have money, he really wants to make sure you're not angry with him.
Of course.
The electronic lock to your room has been disabled till 9 p.m. tomorrow. Please pay for each night in advance starting tomorrow. 20 real per night.
20 real? Okay, I got 66. That's for a couple of nights. Good.
I'll take a room here too.
He opens his wallet.
Of course. Always happy to have officers from the RCM as guests. Anything else I can do for you?
Goodbye. Alright. Got the money. 20 the whirling, or we'll be walking to place to stay. You have to do this every night. Well, I have 60 bucks. So for right now, I'll be pretty good. Okay. So what should I do? Should I open up yet another thought bubble? How much empathy do I have? I have 4. So that'd be like a 2 if I choose that. You know what? How about I have a lot of logic. Suggestion is actually pretty fucking high right now. Visual calc. I mean, I haven't really used visual calculus that much. How about I go for? I don't think I'm going to do much with physique. I'm just going to be honest here. Yeah, how about we go for drama? Drama's pretty good. Let's look it up. Yep. Accept that. And alright. This feels right. You belong here. How about we finally call it a night, shall we, Kim? I've done pretty much everything I was able to do during the day, and I say we have complete a lot. We now know who exactly is behind the murders, I guess, but... Let's go talk to Kim on the balcony. Have a little debrief. Right, let me see. Join him on the Royal Wax if they're 12 when you're calling it a day.
Yes?
Tell me about the case.
What do you want to know?
Literally anything about it. If we're from different precincts, why are we on the same case?
I'm afraid you and I are pawns in a...
You consider this phrasing?
Pissing competition.
Pissing competition?
His disdain is clear. This man would not use such an expression otherwise.
What do you mean?
You don't know?
Series narrow.
I assumed you were in on it.
You know what I'm in on? Retrograde amnesia.
Better still than an imbecilic cup of...
Tell me about it.
It's just stupidity. We shouldn't waste any more time on it. If you want my take, ask me after we've inspected the victim.
You should tell me now. It seems relevant.
Later.
It's always unfortunate.
Was there anything else you wanted to know about the case?
Would you say this is a mysterious case?
No. It's not a particularly mysterious case.
Serious question moment. Why not?
The deceased is a security guard for a corporation involved in a labor dispute. It doesn't take a DeLorean polymath to put the pieces together. I just don't see the case getting more mysterious than that.
Yeah. I was thinking some otherworldly might be involved, you know, something supernatural.
I can assure nothing like that will happen. Do you know why not?
Why not?
Because it's not part of
Makes it precise
reality.
But that's where you're wrong, Kim. What is reality if not the true viewpoint? What if someone else has the viewpoint of, let's say, a witch did it, for example, Kim?
The gesture resembles an orchestra conductor bringing the choir to a full stop. So desperately mundane. You need to funk this case up. There's something the lieutenant isn't seeing. The universe is too irrational, too morally complex. You should convince him.
Literally anything about it. Can't remember a single thing.
Maybe you can tell me what you do know to help me narrow it down a bit.
I know literally nothing about it, only what you told me before.
Do you want me to brief you?
Brief. Yes, that sounds good.
3 days ago, the RCM emergencies desk received a report about a security guard who was found hanged in Martinez. An anonymous caller said there was a dead body behind the Whirling in Rags hostel cafeteria. The cadaver had been there for 4 days. No one had come to investigate.
4 days.
During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him, but used the word lynching. There is an ongoing labor dispute between the local dock workers and the logistics company Wild Pines. I was told we should approach the death as part of this dispute.
Why didn't we know anything about the caller?
They didn't identify themselves in any way. The tone was muffled using a device of some sort. The desk could identify neither the caller's age nor sex.
Why hide themselves?
There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. The dock workers' union is the de facto police in Martinez. Now it appears they've started executing too. We cannot allow that.
Of course, yes, I understand everything now.
Just to be clear, we are police officers. It's our job to find the killer. That's the case. Uncover and arrest the killer.
I have all I need for now.
Good.
Convinced kid there's a sexy, dark mystery twist in the case. Oh, you goddamn right. I'm telling you, Beatrice the Golden Witch did it. Telling you, kid. Telling you! Who is this, Beatrice you keep talking about, Harry? I don't know. Just keeps coming in my head. I want to talk about you.
Me?
Yes, you.
I don't see how my life is pertinent to the investigation.
We'll work better together if we'll have more repertoire.
That's a fair point. Alright, for the good of the investigation, what do you want to know?
You're in glasses.
That's correct.
You feel a slight urge to put the lieutenant down for this.
No.
But you can't quite muster enough testosterone.
No, I don't. Glasses are cool, I guess.
Are they? They are mostly just cumbersome.
You don't look like other people around here.
That's because I'm half Seolite, or quarter. My father's father was from Seoul. So was my grandmother, but from my mother's side.
Shakes
It's
his
not
head.
an interesting topic.
What is, CO?
It's a part of the world, officer. A geopolitical entity, and a geographic division. I told you it wouldn't be interesting.
Okay. Guess it's not interesting then. Well, you're only making it sound uninteresting. Still want to know more about Seoul.
You're barking up the wrong tree. I don't speak a word of Seolite. I've never met
Seoul.
either one of my grandparents, and I've never been to Seoul. I'm a regular
Seems proud of
Habeshalien.
things. Tell me a secret about yourself.
No.
A single eyebrow. No. Okay.
The lieutenant nods.
Do you ever talk with yourself?
What do you mean?
You know, when you're thinking, do you ever have conversations with, like, your brain?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
The lieutenant's conceptualization skills must be rather rudimentary. The lieutenant is a police officer of the old school. His concerns are material and extrinsic.
Fair enough.
But this isn't an old school case.
I get it. You're one of those old school detectives. Not respectful way.
So what? That makes you the new school? God spare us. For real detective work, nothing beats a good notebook by your side.
The lieutenant produces his small blue notebook and idly thumbs through a few pages. That's where his conversations with himself take place.
Writes it down, eh? I just need my own noggin for everything. I do write down some notes, but for very complex games, it's just Yume Neko. Not this game, though. Not yet, anyway.
We all have our different mediums. His is written.
Fair enough. That's all for now.
Good. Let's change the subject.
Nothing.
This is the door to the room you redecorated.
Well, I mean, actually, good night, Lieutenant.
Just a moment. You had some questions earlier.
Oh,
I
yeah,
believe.
there we go.
And besides, we should discuss our progress on the investigation. Let's go out to the balcony.
All right, let's go. We were just out there a second ago, but all right. It's all right.
The air outside is brisk. The lieutenant is silent for a moment. He listens to the traffic hum. Then,
Where shall we begin? We should talk about the investigation, first and foremost. But I also remember you wanting to discuss the RCM?
I didn't know you smoked, Kim.
I have a cigarette every night when I go over my notes. It's something of a ritual.
Guess we all have our addictions.
oh man, he looks so devastatingly cool with that cigarette.
How'd you get so cool, Kim?
You mean this?
Wait a cigarette
This
roommates
isn't
a friend smile.
It's an unnecessary trial of will, and unhealthy.
He fucks the ash.
Keeping the habit within the parameters he's given himself takes a lot of focus. It would be easier to simply quit. Yet, were he to quit, he would lose the cool factor. This man relishes his cool quite a bit below it all.
Yeah, right then. The debrief.
Yes, it's been a long and eventful day.
How do you think today went?
Well, we didn't even look at the body.
Lieutenant raises his eyebrows.
But we performed a thorough search of the premises of the crime scene. That's great.
Yeah, that is the funniest thing about this. We never did look at the body. Always, we tried to, but, you know, we got as much as we got.
Though you really dropped the ball on inspecting the body, he doesn't want you to feel too discouraged. Probably out of fear that you will just give up and keep drinking.
I generally prefer to start with searching the scene and then move on to dealing with dead bodies.
It's not my job to evaluate your methodology, officer. I'm just going through the facts. As for the interviews, we conducted an interview with Everard Clare.
Yep.
He wasn't particularly forthcoming with useful information.
He's not saying much on the matter because he thinks you could have gotten more out of Everard.
I'm sure I can get him to tell us more.
Claire also helped you, how should I say, remember your name? That's a relief.
Big relief. It's a very serviceable name, too.
Moving on. We tried to interview the Wild Pines rep, but she asked us to do something for her first. Fine, so be it. I have a feeling Joyce knows how dangerous the situation really is. We have to get her to talk to us.
He presses his lips.
If Kim is emphasizing something this much, it really must be important.
Above all, though, today was exhausting. What's with all the running? You run a lot. Is that a standard Precinct 41 practice?
Well, I don't like to waste time, you know. My mind moves fast. The rest has to try to keep up.
It's impressive, especially for a man your age. And in those hills.
He nods thoughtfully, tapping his finger in his cigarette.
Nice shoes, by the way. I like the green. Goes with the orange.
He looks at your snake shoes and smiles in a way. So what are our powers exactly, the RCM?
They're quite limited, actually. The power officers of the Rebachol Citizens Militia exercise most frequently is imposing fines of up to 1,000 real for offenses, in accordance with an interdepartmental schedule.
1,000? Will that be an easy power to abuse?
Yes, although indirectly, as citizens can always request records from their local station. Officers of the RCM have been known to take bribes of less than the prescribed fine amount.
He frowns.
It undermines trust in the RCM.
1,000, and no more.
The RCM's primary role is to ensure safety. We are not really supposed to play any part in the economic structure of Rebachol.
Okay, what else?
We can arrest people, of course, but rather than bringing someone in directly, it's preferable to serve a station cold slip. It prevents confusion and overcrowding.
Interesting. Wait, how can you be sure the arrestees will show up?
You can't. Those who don't show up become fugitives, though, and have fewer legal rights when they are eventually caught. It's about power projection. Thus far, they seem to mostly show up.
Okay, fair enough, I guess. I see. I have someone to resist.
We are permitted to use whatever force we deem necessary, even lethal.
Have you ever killed anyone killed, Kim?
Yes. The last time was 4 years ago.
Ooh.
He says it matter-of-factly and moves on. He has internalized it well. It's just that. A fact. A self-contained past event.
Have I killed anyone?
That's an improbability. Perhaps even impossibility.
I probably have.
Precinct 41 is known for a higher than average rate of police violence.
Wait, so if I kill someone while on duty...
You have to supply compelling evidence for why it was necessary to use lethal force. In these cases, your partner is usually your witness. Not a good position to be in, by the way. Internal Affairs handles these cases thoroughly, by cross-examining you for inconsistencies. It is hard to cover for anyone, which is for the best.
What happens to the people we convict?
We don't convict. We arrest and send them to coalition government courts in Couvon and La Delta. The prosecution works off our testimonies and records, which is why it's paramount to keep them.
Taps in his coat pocket where he keeps his notes. Huh. Okay. Interesting. So really, we don't have any power. All we can do is ask people to show up and just send them over to another system. And who makes all these rules? The coalition government?
Yes, the international community's mission in Ravachol, and the moral intern more broadly. The RCM was formed by the coalition government to restore order in the international zone after the revolution. So we did. Now we attempt to maintain that order. No more, no less.
His gaze is absently fixed on the window below that just went dark.
Or perhaps it is better to say we were allowed to form. It's a point of contention whether the citizens of Ravachol or the coalition government founded the RCM.
Huh. Say nothing.
Silence. A great comment to such a conundrum.
Namora Winton. What is it?
The Moralist International are the world's largest political organization. You know who they are. They have been running this place after the revolution failed.
I really don't know. That's how bad it is in here. Punch your head.
Okay. They're a union of center-left and center-right parties across the Real Belt. Our coalition government is just one of its many projects. They also run the ICP, EPIS, most intergovernmental organizations in the world.
What do they believe in?
What do they believe in? They are Dolorians. They believe they continue the humanist project set forth by Her Innocence Dolores Day 4 centuries ago. Others say they are just technocrats.
Who the fuck is Her Innocence Dolores Day?
Those others say they continue the humanist project set forth by Dolores Day.
What is their symbol?
Interesting question. It's a blue forget-me-not. Their motto is love, compassion, self-discipline. I think you can gauge what they want you to think of them from that.
Yeah.
Something kind and usual. Something almost self-explanatory. Something ominous.
Yeah?
Something like the dark blue, serious color of the early night sky above.
Who was Doris Day?
A historic figure? The author of the modern age? You will have to look elsewhere for opinions. The subject of humanism is too abstract for me.
Kind of like an Ayn Rand type figure. Political theory. What do you think of them?
The moral intern are a fact. I try not to have opinions on facts until they change. And
he looks at the
doesn't
people
look
well.
like that's about to happen.
It is more than that. There's some kind of affection in him.
You like the Moore Winton?
Yes, I did, when I was younger. In my 20s, I considered myself a moralist. A blue forget-me-not, a piece of the sky. They're not all that bad.
That's another leitmotif associated with moralism.
But the years have changed that. I don't know what I believe in now.
He thinks and changes his
No,
mind.
I believe in the RCM. That's enough for me.
I have an opinion on the Moore Winton.
Do you?
Tennant arches his brow and pulls on a cigarette, so white fingers finger. Men are turning to women. They've done an awful job here. I mean, yeah. I mean, they've done an awful job here. Have you seen this place? This isn't humanism.
We are in what is called the twilight of international law. The laws we claim to enforce come from the MI. Without them, we are simply vigilantes.
Yeah, vigilantes sound bad. Taking law into our own hands, it's not typically good.
Sadly, it is what we already are to the people of Martinez. Most of them, at least, especially the Union. Vigilantes. I expect our job here to prove quite challenging.
He looks at the roundabout. Say nothing. Just look into the night.
The dying lights of the city shimmer below. Slowly, like luminous clouds, they pass on his lenses. The lieutenant looks at his slim cigarette, contemplating the next drag. This soldier is the highlight of the day for me, he thinks. This little stick right here.
They really don't like us here. And the mouth on that kid, Kuno. It's different inland, in Jamrock and the GRIH.
Pulls on the cigarette. Why are they like this?
It's our fault for leaving this place to the dogs, to the Union, to the company, not daring to come here more often. This place has fallen between the cracks, the jurisdictions of our two precincts.
Almost like a forgotten district, forgotten by both history. Nobody comes here to even repair the buildings, and it's stuck between a union that runs it like a mob and a company that has no heart for it and only cares about profits to it. It's quite literally a land in between. And then Jamrock and the GRIH.
We run this city. West of the river is RCM land.
He looks at the dark silhouette of the equestrian monument cutting into the night sky.
It's incredibly hard. Human beings are...
Shakes his head.
But we are in control, and it's worth it. The organization works. Our systems work. If they didn't, the city would disintegrate.
I hope our investigation will help improve the situation here. At least do some good.
Me too. But I wouldn't count on any drastic changes in our lifetimes.
Ain't that the truth?
He is very tired, but the dark circles under his eyes make him look younger, not older.
Thank you for this.
Yeah, it's getting very cold now. Let's go.
Puts out the stub of his cigarette, looks to the door. Well then. Pissing competition. Machine 41, 56. Ask him about this at the direction. Done. Jam. We got a lot. Quite a lot. And we know a bit more first day in how this city's stuck in, well, this district stuck in between two hard places. Forgotten by everyone quite literally. Goodbye, Kim. Words to describe how rank it smells in here. Should have sent a poet. Check the mirror. Take a look at ourselves, huh?
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face, adorned with the expression.
Let the mirror be for now. Alright, well then. Off tonight then.
The bed is cold and not particularly inviting, but it's yours. The sheets look awful.
The option to go to sleep becomes available every night after 9 p.m.
Quallen.
The sheets feel at once coarse and clammy against your skin. The bed sags beneath your weight as you stretch out and finally close your eyes.
Well then.
And then sleep doesn't come.
Whoa.
And then sleep doesn't come.
But I want to sleep.
Obviously, you're in bed with your eyes closed, but it's not happening.
Why?
Maybe it's the bed's fault.
Go over to the other side.
It's a little better. Colors, scenes, and half-formed phrases still litter your mind. Part of you is still trying to solve the case, isn't it?
Who killed him? Who?
Something to do with... What was it that the lieutenant said? Union? And it's gone again. Your thoughts lost between the slowing brain waves.
No more thoughts. Fall asleep now.
Your breathing steadies. A great silence washes over you until your eyelids twitch in your sleep and images start forming.
Oh boy. Off to dreamland, eh? Whoa. Gotta check the body, eh? Oh, shit. Oh. Visage of me. My old self, I guess.
Do you remember the scent of your childhood?
What is this?
What it says on the can, Harry. Answer the question.
I remember nothing.
Do you remember your wife's hand on your face?
You said... who?
Do you remember the warmth of her thighs, between her legs and in her mouth?
I was left, or I... Tell me what this is. I'm not answering before you tell me who you are.
You know who I am. I'm the bad day. The one where you ask her, and then later in the streets, wandering. It's the worst day of all time, Harry dear. And it's coming. She will hear about it on the phone.
Ask her.
Reality will turn into a grotesque nightmare. This will be the last thing you did to her. Tell me, do you remember the love of your life?
I left.
Oh no, Funky baby, you stayed. It was the rest of it that left. Or you just stood there, with one hand on the bottle and the other on your dick, watching it go. Tell me, where are your friends? Human beings have friends, Harry boy. Where the hell are yours?
I can get it all back.
No, it's gone. 3 times gone and never coming back. You failed. You failed me. You failed Elysium.
What is Elysium?
Everything. The Pale and the Useless. On the surface. The outer magnetosphere. Burning, furious truth. 8,000 years of written history.
Magnetosphere. The Pale and Useless.
You really dropped the ball, Harry. 4.6 billion people. And you failed every single one of them. You really fucked up.
I've seen you before.
No, you haven't. You're just sleep talking. And the act is wearing thin, too. The spots on the disco ball fade around you. You'll be back in those cold snakeskins in no time, sweating up the bed.
Stinky boy.
I can come back from this.
You're not coming back from shit. Thrashing around in that high conductivity state of yours. Bumping into things and acting like a clown. Who are you kidding?
I'm trying to solve this case.
You're trying to what? I can't hear you. This is just a word dream now. Jumbled up garbage. The pictures are gone. The bed rises to meet you. A thin, sleep-like state. More glass than velvet, grinding in your head.
So something is wrong. Sleep shouldn't be this bad, this dry, this unnourishing. There's something wrong with your thoughts. Some kind of new type of hangover.
God, there's another type?
Oh yes, party boy. And it's worse than the one before.
Oh God.
Just think of the shit you saw. Here it comes too. So soon already? A silent alarm goes off in your head like clockwork. Barely let you sleep at all. Time to get those clothes on, Harry.
Oh, God.
Time to go to work in the shit factory.
So we did have a wife at one point. Jeez. The hell is Elysium? That's the question. Jesus.
Good going, buddy.
Oh my God, what the hell was that?
Oh, just a dream. You have ones like that all the time. You feel even worse this morning than you did last night.
What the hell is going on with me?
You mean, why are you so tired? Too tired and down to even think? It is worrying, isn't it? You can't be a detective like this. Detectives need to be able to think.
Why is this happening?
It's just that your heart has finally pumped all the speed out of your system, Buster. Time to get some more. Don't do that. Stay strong. The hangover will wear off. You don't need to keep doing this to yourself.
No, I can take this. I'm not going to go looking for speed.
Are you sure? Ready to live as this pathetic shell of yourself for days? Basically, a week. Let's be honest, 2 weeks. Maybe 3. You won't make it. Half the town will be dead by then. You will be fired.
That's a lie. I can do this without the speed. Half the town won't be dead.
Suit yourself. Slow, sad shell man. See how you do without your spark.
Shut the fuck up. I don't need your damn alcohol or nothing. Well then, I say this is a fantastic stopping point right here. What a fucking interesting dream we had. The bloated corpse of our old self, you could say. So we did have a life, but we didn't leave. She left us. And used to have friends, I guess. And that word, Elysium, is everything, huh? 8,000 years of wooden history. I think if I remember correctly from before, the 8,000 years refers to that's how long human civilization has been around for in this world. Which is interesting. Why is that? What the hell is Elysium? And what the hell was that? Like, it's very interesting because this game feels kind of, on the surface, it seems realistic. It doesn't seem like there's going to be a supernatural element to it, but that's wrong. There's something else to it. We keep having these voices in our head. We keep having conversations with ourselves. Sure, that could be just, mechanics, trying to mechanicalize, thoughts in your own head into like a game mechanic, yeah. But at the same time, there is this just tiny bit of feeling that there is something more going on here. But what that is, I got nothing to comment on. All we have is, the Pines versus the Union and the Mercenary, and that's what we already have for right now, at least. But I wonder where this story is going to go. I'm curious. I'm very curious on where it could go so many different ways. I don't know. It's just, this game is so fucking fascinating. It really is. Both this game and just in general, its development in the aftermath of the failed sequel to Disco Elysium 2, with 3 different studios trying to make their own spiritual successor to this game. This game is such just an anomaly, like an interesting case. And hey, that's why I play these certain games, these like anomalies, you could say. unique games that aren't like any other. That's what I try to do on this channel, is play through these very just unique games with such a aura about them. You know, there's something about them, be it Human Echo, be it Disco Elysium, be it Legacy of Kain. All these games have just certain things to them, be it trouble with its development, and be it the games themselves are just so different from their contemporaries. But yes, I hope you guys have enjoyed this type of content. If you did, hit that subscribe button. If you liked it, hit the like button. Want to tell me something? Put it down in the comments below. Check out the Discord server I own in, or my Twitter. Check the description below. And yeah, it's been Voidlego. I'll see you guys next time. See ya!